Right, welcome to this Codex review. It was index reviews, but we're back to Codexes now. Games Workshop, I think they've done a great move. They did indexes for all the factions, brought them all up to date. Brilliant idea. And then they've gone back to Codexes here as well. So you've got all of your fluff, background story, showing you how to paint the different things and units, and then all the updated rules and stats and so on. And then exclusive content now as well for Codexes. There's extra stuff there for them as well. I didn't review the index for Space Marines, so for 8th edition, so now it's straight into the Codex. And in this video I'll go through all of the entries here. So I reckon I'm going to split this into two parts for Space Marines. It's a big book, loads and loads of units, so I'm going to split it into two halves, and then I'm just going to go through each of the units here and then give you my lowdown on the different combinations, upgrades, whether a unit's good or not. Just give you my take on each of those. You can listen through, get a good idea of what Space Marines are all about. And this video is helpful. Perhaps you're thinking of collecting Space Marines, you're not sure what units to go for, the structure of the army and so on. Well, listen through and you get an idea of all the units, give you a good idea of what's good and what is not so good. So I've got mine from gamingfigures.com. They do Games Workshop at discounted rates, so it just means you can get a hold of your things like codexes and miniatures and so on, and then you get a discount from that. So they're based in the UK. You can make your orders through there, and that's gamingfigures.com. So the core, the foundation of 40k, it just wouldn't exist without them, is the Space Marines. Just to talk a bit about the book. Nicely produced, hardback here, nice that Games Workshop have gone over to hardback. Got the nice finish that you can see. So you've got a matte laminate finish here, and then what's called spot UV finish over the top, just that nice quality finish. Main quality illustration here, very, very nice artwork. And on the back here, exclusively featuring Primaris Marines. Yep. Oh no. Sorry, there is a Devastator squad just tucked in the smoke, but that's it. So heavy emphasis here. It's like Games Workshop have made an entirely new faction within a faction, almost the Primaris Marines. We're looking at 208 pages, so this video will definitely be in two halves here. So I reckon I'll probably get halfway through the unit entries. We'll cover all the fluff and stuff. I'll just usually get through that quite quick, and then we'll go straight into unit entries and rules, and then get about halfway through the entries just there. I'll maybe stop around the end of elites, perhaps something like that. So inside artwork here, very nice. Use this iconic illustration as well. Usually good for a colour palette. So you've got your darker colours here. Obviously Ultramarines. Finish here with this band that runs through the middle, and then some gold colouring as well, sort of a bluey silver, so it gives you an idea of colours potentially you could go for, especially if you're going for Ultramarines. Updates really, James is painting up Primaris Marines for his Ultramarines, so you can expect them, and then I do plan to do my own as well. Details of that on the Plus channel at the moment. That is that illustration in full colour. Looks very nice indeed. As far as the situation with if I was to go for Primaris Marines, I'm not really sure of the style and composition of the army at the moment. It's all quite fresh, so I'm open to suggestions and ideas, and just to see how it goes. So background story here, all that you'd expect. There's all the banners laid out. There's the company markings, interesting, from 1st to 10th. Insignia, helmets, that's helpful, all the different colours. Honours, marksman, campaign badge, iron halo. Vehicle markings. And it seems they used to have that very simplified outline and block colours. They've now gone for this style, which is a lot better. Very nice. Imperial Dominatus, Brotherhood of War, Indomitus Crusade, Ultramarines, Ultramar. This is the layout here of the Ultramarines 2nd Company. Nice. Right, look here, they've got, that's interesting. So they have regular Space Marines here, tactical squads, and now within that is your Primaris Lieutenant, I believe, just here. Primaris Captain, I think, by the looks of it. Intercessor squads here. Hellblaster squad, another Intercessor squad, and then Inceptor squads as well. Interesting, all within the regular Space Marine company. Right, okay. So I think James may follow the structure he's trying to do. I think this is the gold trim. You know, I think he's trying to go for that. He's got a lot of blue to paint, but I think he has most of the Marines done just there. And then when he goes to do his Primaris units, he'll do them to match, to fit in with this 2nd Company. Which I think it's a great idea. Chronicles of Ultramar. Right, so I've been trying to think about what to, if I was to do Primaris Marines, do I do them as a regular chapter that I already have, you know, Blood Angels or Imperial Fists, or do I go for an entirely new chapter? So I found these interesting looking through all of these. Fulminators is a nice one, but I think too blue. James already has the Ultramarines. You've got Genesis chapter, but it's too red, like Blood Angels, Black Consoles, Eagle Warriors is quite nice. Nova Marines, okay. Praetors of Orpheus, Silver Skulls, Scythes of the Emperor, just there. Then you've got White Scars. Successor chapters, Storm Lords looks quite impressive. Destroyers look quite nice. Storm Reapers, Solar Hawks. Not all the chapters included in this book, there's plenty of others out there. Imperial Fists, which you already have. Successor chapters, Hammers of Dawn and the Invaders. The Crimson Fists, always like them. I always thought if Games Workshop, you know, they sculpted the Imperial Space Marine, if they did like a 10-man kit of that and other units nicely sculpted in plastic, would so badly collect that from that illustration, the Rogue Trader picture where they're all surrounded and being shot at and they're wounded and so on. Just collect those in Crimson Fist colour scheme, which just would look fantastic, especially sculpted up to modern standards. Nice plastic kits, multiple poses. Would look utterly fantastic. If Games Workshop did that, people would buy them. Sure they would. Black Templars here look quite nice here for the Intercessor squads. Yeah, not bad. You know, and then look, Crusade Seals here. To make these look quite nice, you could go for this colour scheme, which does look quite nice, and then maybe take some of these shields from the Grey Knights kit perhaps, and then try and stick them on to add in a bit of colour. Insignia would look quite cool. So they're not shunning any of the chapters here really. It's good, they're dedicating time to each of these. Salamanders, very nice. The Raven Guard, quite cool. Successor chapters, the Revilers, Knights of the Raven, the Rift Stalkers and the Black Guard. The Iron Hands, just there. Successor chapters, the Brazen Claws, the Iron Lords, Sons of Medusa, quite cool. Green, and the Red Talons, just there. Unknown Foundings, interesting. Mentors, Black Dragons, Fire Lords, Exorcists, Death Spectres, and Blood Ravens. There from Dawn of War, look quite cool. More unique illustrations here for the Primaris Marines. There's Ultramarines here. Another chapter just down there. Not sure what that is. Nova Marines, perhaps. Okay, then the fluff on the different units: commanders, librarians, chaplains, apothecaries, chapter command, company command, battle line squads. You've got your Primaris Marines, tactical squads, close support squads, assault marines, centurion, assault centurions, close support squads, fire support squads, your hellblasters here, aggressors, devastator squads. It's all intermingled here, Primaris and regular marine. Veterans. There's the Redemptor Dreadnought just there. Tech Marine Scout Squad, so many units now for Space Marines. Transport vehicles, repulsors, battle line tanks, land raiders. Does look quite nice, weathered up, painted for Crimson Fists. And the gunships, Stormraven, Stormhawk, Gilliman himself, who James has and is painting up as well. Calgar, Tigurius, our background story for all the main characters as well, which is great. Cassius, Sergeant Talion, Captain Sicarius, Sergeant Kronos, Kosoro Khan, the White Scars, Vulcan Hashdan, Kavan Shrike, Pedro Cantor, Lysander, Chaplain Grimaldus, the Black Templars, High Marshal Helbrecht, Emperor's Champion, Crusader squads. Yeah, so people are saying that the Black Templars had taken a bit of a hit and sort of neglected, but they're talked about here, and the units are all included, so that's good. And when these are nicely painted up, they do look really nice. When they're nicely done, you know, all the cloaks and things, they do look really nice, the Black Templars. There's the Primaris Marines, the new releases there, the Captain, Chaplain, Apothecary and the Librarian. I mean, regular Space Marines just look so small now compared to the others. There's the Redemptor Dreadnought, the new one. That's the new repulsor tank. It's a nice showcase here, very helpful for all of you. Paintings, Primaris Marines painted up for Imperial Fists. Some Captain. Yeah, Crimson Fists look nice. Just something about them, they do it really nice. Yeah, look at this guy, looks great. Black Templars Lieutenants. Yeah, he looks really nice. Painted up there for Black Templars. Interesting. Nicely painted. Then Salamanders here with some of the new releases. Raven Guard. Here, Iron Hands. Okay, let's give you an idea of the layout of an army as well. So you've got Primaris and regular Marines just all intermingled. Big Dreadnought now, that new Redemptor Dreadnought just there. Alright, now we're at the rules themselves. Okay, so first to the rules then. Lost Libraries. Adeptus Astartes Psychos cannot be drawn from Black Templars chapter. Okay, next. This is for several Adeptus Astartes units. National No Fear. Reroll morale tests for this unit. So fail a morale test your Space Marine tactical squad, you can reroll it. So it just makes their morale a bit more reliable. You get that dreaded 6 and then you can just reroll it. Okay, so that's the list of war gear. Loads of war gear. We'll cover that sort of as we go along. So straight into HQs then, and there's loads of HQs here, characters and so on, and then just different HQ combinations that you can go for and customise yourself as well. So Marnius Calgar to start off with. I'll have to flick. I'm wondering how they've organised this one. See, I wonder. I suppose they have to separate the points. Just wondering about the new structure of the way things work. They've put the armoury here, so it's not quite at the back, which is a bit harder to find. It's a bit annoying. It was easier actually when the armoury was just nearby where the points costs are, but it's not too bad. But you know to flick to the back to get your points values. So named characters. Calgar. It's 200 points, that includes war gear. You're not going to pay any more points for him. So, Calgar here then is 200 points. For that you can get movement 5. Weapon skill ballistic skill 2+, strength and toughness 4. Okay, so it's not any higher. but he's on 7 wounds, 5 attacks, that's a nice amount of dice. And then on 2s to hit, it's pretty good. Leadership 9, a 2+ save. He's a single model armed with the gauntlets of Ultramar and Relic Blade. Only 1 Calgar per army. So the details are all here, don't need to flick to the back for this. So Gauntlets of Ultramar is a shooting weapon, it's rapid fire 2. So at range 24 you get 2 shots, 4 shots at close range. It's strength 4, AP -1 and 2 damage. Not really expecting to do too much damage with shooting. They don't count as pistols, no, so you can't fire them in combat. And then the gauntlets times 2 strength, that puts him on strength 8, it's AP -3 and D3 points of damage. He's not that amazing, really. If it was D6 damage would be good, but D3. So it caused some damage, but he's going to run into a vehicle and not necessarily destroy it. Relic Blade then is strength of, no, it's +2 on strength, so it's strength 6, it's AP -3, and it's D3 points damage. That's not bad, the Relic Blade's pretty good. And they should know no fear. Armour of Antilochus. He has a 4+ invuln save. In addition, all damage suffered by Calgar is halved, rounding up. Oh, interesting rule. Chapter Master, you can reroll failed hit rolls for any Ultra Marines within 6. Has a nice buff there for nearby units. Master Tactician, if your army is battle forged, you receive an additional 2 command points if Manius Calgar is your warlord. Cool. That's pretty good. Bonus there. So there's pretty good bonuses for him actually. He's not too bad. But in combat he's not utterly devastating, it's not too amazing. But 200 points is quite manageable. You know, you could put him into an army, and then for 2,000 point army, you know, you've still got a fair bit left. He's not a ridiculous amount of points. Teleport strikes, that's the rules for Terminators there. He can turn up as long as he's more than 9 inches away from the opposing models. Next is Chief Librarian Tigurius, who is just passing comment as well. I don't do Ultramarines 3, he's not really a viable option. You may see James use him, he does have him painted up actually, Calgar. So next one is Tigurius. Librarian Tigurius, he's 130 points. He is cheap in points. Movement 6 for him, weapon skill and ballistic skill 3+. Strength 4, toughness 4, 4 wounds, 3 attacks, leadership 9 and a 3+ save. He comes with the Rod of Tigurius. Don't need to look up points here because he's a flat 130. Bolt pistol, frag grenades, crack grenades, only 1 per army. The Rod of Tigurius is +3 strength, that's nice, he's on strength 7. It's AP -1 and D3 points of damage, that's not bad. There's some special rules just to check his Psyker. He can attempt to manifest 2 psychic powers in each psychic phase and attempt to deny 2. No, he's a decent Psyker. He knows Smite and 3 powers from the Librarius Discipline. He is really good. And he's also got Hood of Hellfire. You add 1 to deny the witch test you take for Tigurius against enemy psychers within 12. In addition, you can reroll failed psychic tests taken for Tigurius. Pretty reliable as well. Master of Prescience. At the start of each of your opponent's shooting phases, select an Ultramarines unit within 6. To the end of the phase, your opponent must subtract 1 from hit rolls that target that unit. That's not a power you roll up for, you just select them, and it's -1 to hit them. Pretty good. No, Tigurius is decent, and he's cheap as well. 130 points is cheap. Okay, interesting that one. That's Ultramarines. Chaplain Casillas. Chaplain Casillas is here. He's 98 points, including war gears. He's less than 100 points. Movement 6, 2+ weapon skill, nice. Ballistic skill 3+. Strength 4. He is toughness 5. 4 wounds though, not that many wounds. 3 attacks, that's not very high either. Leadership 9, 3 up save. He comes with an Infernus, which we'll check in a moment. Crosius Arcanum, frag and crack grenades, and only 1 per army. So, the Infernus, when attacking with this weapon, choose one of the or both of the profiles below. If you choose both, subtract 1 for hit rolls for this weapon. So if you go for both, you can fire the Flamer, which is range 8, assault D6, strength 4, AP -0, and then 1 point of damage. It auto hits the target, just a regular Flamer. The Mastercrafted bolt gun is pretty good here. Rapid fire 1, range 24, strength 4, AP -1 and 2 points of damage. Okay. Crozius Arcanum is +1 strength, so that puts it on strength 5, it's AP -1 and 2 points of damage. Just there. Usual rules for frag and crack grenades. Yes, it's 4+ invuln. Litanies of Hate. You can reroll hit rolls in the fight phase for friendly Ultramarines units within 6. That's a brilliant bonus to have him in there. Nice and cheap. No, he's not too bad at all. And then Spiritual Leader. All friendly Ultramarines units within 6 in the morale phase use his leadership, which is 9 instead of their own. And then Inspired Retribution. Roll a d6 each time a friendly Ultramarines unit within Casillas is slain in the fight phase. On a 6, the unit that made the attack suffers a mortal wound after it's finished making its attacks. Cool. Okay. Now, so if you're doing Ultramarines, we don't have to, yeah, you would do it with Ultramarines here. The bonuses are all for Ultramarines. So if you've got an Ultramarines army, you're taking a Chaplain, you like the rules of the the Litanies of Hate and so on. If you want to spend a couple more points, just take Casillas because he gets some extras that a regular Chaplain doesn't get, and they're pretty good. He's not bad at all. He's alright. He's not bad himself, but then these bonuses here are pretty good. Okay, so next one is Captain Cato Sicarius. So James is a big fan of him. Movement 6, weapon skill and ballistic skill 2+, strength and toughness 4, 5 wounds for him, 4 attacks, leadership 9, and a 2+ save. And he costs 132 points. He's cheap, not bad really, not bad. So he comes with a plasma pistol, frag and crack grenades, and a Telesarian Tempest blade. So the plasma pistols, the standard there is range 12, pistol 1, strength 7, AP -3 and 1 point damage. You can supercharge if you roll a 1, bearer is slain. It's become strength 8, AP -3, 2 points damage. A Telesarian Tempest blade is strength of the user, which is strength 4. It's AP. That's not that great. It's -3 points damage and then minus AP3 and then D3 points damage. Any wounds of 6 causes D3 mortal wounds. Right, that's that killer blow style there. It used to be like instant death. I don't think he's quite as good as he used to be though. I'm sure he used to be strength 6 with him. Frag and crack grenades. Gets his 4+ invuln. Rites of battle. You can reroll hit rolls of 1 made for friendly Ultramarines units within 6. Right, so he gives the usual bonus there for a captain. And then Battle Forged Heroes. Friendly Ultramarines, tactical squads within 6 can always fight first in the fight phase, even if they didn't charge. God, pretty good. If the enemy has units that have charged or have a similar ability, then alternate choosing units to fight with. Start with a player whose turn is taking place. And pretty impressive as well. Okay, so that's Sicarius covered, which is not bad. I think the best out of those would be Tigurius. I think it's a pretty good HQ. Tigurius isn't too bad. The bonus for him now is the access to 6, potentially. The choice of 6 powers as opposed to 3. And, sorry, just go back. You can choose your powers now. That makes them even more tactically. You just say, right, I'll take this, you can get a nice combination going to match your army. It doesn't have to be randomised. So he's pretty good. Okay, so Sergeant Kronos. We saw him make appearances sometimes in a Predator Annihilator. He will cost 35 points as an upgrade. So for 35 points, what do you get? You get the ballistic skill of 2+ for the tank, so that's pretty cool. Single Ultramarines, has to be Ultramarines again. It's Rhino, Razorback, Predator, Vindicator, Whirlwind, Hunter, Stalker, Land Raider Crusader or Land Raider Redeemer in your army can take Sergeant Kronos as an upgrade. You can only have one of them per army. The stat lines for him on foot, movement 6, weapon skill 3+, 2+ ballistic skill, strength toughness 4, 4 wounds, 2 attacks, leadership 8 and a 3+ save. So Tank Commander. Sergeant Kronos always begins the game commanding a vehicle. Whilst commanding the vehicle, use that vehicle's normal profile, weapons, abilities and so on. with the exception of the ballistic skill, which is 2+. If Sergeant Kronos is commanding a vehicle at the start of your turn, he can If Sergeant Kronos is commanding a vehicle at the start of your turn, he can restore 1 lost wound it has suffered. Nice little bonus just there. If Sergeant Kronos' vehicle has been reduced to 0 wounds, set him up within 3 inches before removing the vehicle from the battlefield. He is treated as a passenger disembarking from a destroyed transport. Assuming he survives, Sergeant Kronos then uses the infantry profile above and the keywords below. He is equipped with a bolt pistol, servo arm, and frag and crack grenades. And the servo arm's not bad. It's ×2 strength, so he's on strength 8. It's AP -2 and 3 points of damage. You only get 1 attack with it though. So if you want to, again, if you've got spare points, you want to improve one of your vehicles, then stick them inside there. Interesting. Okay. It's worth all those points to get the extra ballistic skill. Okay, then you've got Sergeant Telian next here for the Ultramarines. Sergeant Telian is 75 points. For this scout here, his movement 7, weapon skill 3+, ballistic skill 2+, strength and toughness and wounds are all 4, 2 attacks, leadership 8 and a 4-up save. Sergeant Telian is a single model armed with Quietus, a bolt pistol, frag and crack grenades, only 1 per army. So the Quietus is range 36, heavy 2, remember he's going to hit on 2+, strength 4, AP -1, D3 points of damage. This weapon may target a character, even if it is not the closest enemy unit. Not bad. You could surround him with sniper scouts to protect him because he's a character, and then just have him shoot at stuff. That D3 damage is pretty good for taking out characters. He's one of the better sniping options I've seen. Let's see what else you get. Infiltrator. When you set up Telian during deployment, you can set up anywhere on the battlefield that is more than 9 inches away from the enemy deployment zone. Okay. Camo Cloak. You can add 2 to the saving throws for Sergeant Telian when he receives the benefit of cover, so he gets a 2+ cover save basically. Voice of Experience. In each of your shooting phases, you can add 1 to all hit rolls made for a single friendly scout unit within 3 of Telian. Right, so now you take a unit of scouts with sniper rifles. They're going to be on 2 to hit. Yeah, really good. That's really good. Yeah, if you had a unit of 10 sniper scouts or scouts with sniper rifles, with 3+ to hit, they're okay. You get 6-7 hits. You have him nearby, you can start getting 9 hits. Not bad. Plus his 2 shots, you could really start dealing out some nasty results against characters. No, Telian's not bad. He's hard to kill, you have to get past all of the scouts to get to him, so Telian's not bad at all. If you're a fan of scouts, then he is pretty good. Right, Lysander here for the Imperial Fists. He is 150 points, including war gear, so it's not a ridiculous amount. His movement 5, weapon skill and ballistic skill 2+, strength and toughness 4. He's got 6 wounds, 4 attacks, leadership 9 and 2-up save. He's armed with the Fist of Dawn. That's it. Okay, so the Fist of Dawn plus 6 strength. So it's strength 10. Nice. AP -3 and 3 points of damage. He has a 3+ invuln. You can reroll hit rolls of 1 for friendly Imperial Fist units within 6. It's not bad either. He's pretty good here. He's got teleport strikes as usual for Terminators, and then Icon of Obstinacy. Add 1 to the leadership of all friendly Imperial Fist units within 6. Yeah, Lysander's not bad. No, he's okay. No, he's not bad at all. So he'd be a good bonus to give to some Assault Terminators with Thunderhammer Storm Shields to have him nearby. He's not bad. Not bad, okay. Next one is Pedro Cantor. He's 170. It's a bit more expensive here. So movement 6, weapon skill and ballistic skill 2+, strength and toughness 4, 6 wounds, 4 attacks, leadership 9, 2 up save. He's got Dawn's Arrow, Power Fist, Frame Crack Grenades. So Dawn's Arrow is range 24, assault 4, remember it's a 2s to hit, strength 4, AP minus 1 and 1 point damage. Power Fist, it's just the usual rules, times 2 strength, minus 3 on the AP and D3 damage. It's minus 1 to hit when you use the weapon. And let's see what bonuses you get. Chapter Master, you can reroll failed hit rolls of friendly Crimson Fist units within 6. So there's a decent bonus for them. And then the Oath of Ryan or Rin. All friendly Crimson Fists models add 1 to their attacks whilst they're within 6 of Pedro Cantor. That's a good bonus. Quite amazing bonuses. And he has a 4+ inv1. Yeah, it's a double buff here. You're on +1 to your hit, +1 to your attacks. Reroll your misses. Hit rolls. And that's shooting and combat. Brilliant bonuses there. He's really, really good. So, you know, if you're going to surround him with multiple units, he suddenly becomes worth a fair bit. And then he can do the damage in combat as well with that Power Fist coming through. So, Cantor isn't too bad at all. Okay, so High Marshal Helbrecht next. 170 points. Movement 6, weapon skill, ballistic skill 2+, strength and toughness 4, 6 wounds, 4 attacks, leadership 9 and 2 up save. He comes with the Sword of the High Marshals, a Combi Melter, and Frame Crack Grenades. So it's the usual rules there for you choose the bolt gun. If you choose both, to use both of these, it's -1 from your hit rolls, but you can go for the usual bolter or melter gun, range 12, strength 8, AP minus 4, d6 damage. If you're within 6, it's 2d6, choose the best. So the Sword of the High Marshals is a melee weapon, gives him +1 strength, so he becomes strength 5, it's AP minus 3 and d3 points of damage. He can make d3 additional attacks with this weapon if he charged, so potential there of 7, between 5 and 7 attacks, which isn't bad at all. Okay, so he's not bad himself. It's expensive, let's see what bonus he gets. You reroll hits with him, and you get +1 to your strength. I think that extra attack's better. +1 strength anyway, so it's usually going to be strength 5. And he has a 4+ inv1. No, he's not bad. I would think Cantor's pretty good. Out of all of those, they're all not bad at all. They're all pretty good. Cantor, I think, just edges it, but they're all not too bad. The Emperor's Champion. It's interesting. He's only 75 points. Movement 6, weapon skill 2+, ballistic skill 3+, strength toughness 4, 4 wounds, 4 attacks, leadership 8 and 2 up save. Comes with the black sword and the usual war gear. It's +2 strength, strength 6, AP minus 3, d3 points of damage. You can reroll any failed wound rolls when attacking with this weapon if the target is a character or a monster. Okay, so that's an improvement, that's good. It comes with Sigmund's Honour. Add 1 to the Emperor's Champion's strength and attacks characteristic whilst you're within an inch of enemy characters. +1 attacks and strength. So strike at strength 5, +2, strength 7 with the sword. And his attacks go up to 5. He's not bad. So there's definitely an incentive to get him stuck into characters there. Good. The Armour of Favour does have that 4+ inv1 save. You reroll failed hit rolls made of this model in attacking characters. God, he is good against a character. Loads of bonuses there. You know, with the ability to strike first now, if you charge, because he may not last too long, he's only got 4 wounds. The 4+ inv1's only going to stop so much. So you want him to get that first time striking. If he charges, he's going to go in to a character with like plenty of bonuses here. So he's not too bad. For 75 points, he's pretty good for character hunting. Okay, Chaplain Grimaldus. 120 points for this chaplain. Movement 6, weapon skill 2+, ballistic skill 3+, strength toughness 4, 4 wounds, 3 attacks, leadership 9 and a 3 up save. He's armed with Crozius Arcanum. We've covered that already. It's Litanies of Hate, reroll hits. Okay, so it's not that much bonus here. Spiritual Leader. All friendly Black Templars units within 6 of Grimaldus in the morale phase use his leadership instead of their own. He's got 4+ Invon. And then Unmatched Zeal. If you roll a 6+ in the fight phase for a friendly Black Templars unit within 6, you can immediately make 1 extra attack. Okay. No, it's not that amazing really. Sad to say, but it's not that great there for the points. Yeah, so out of all of the ones we've seen so far, maybe Grimaldus isn't the best. Right, Cenobite Servitors. Okay, so this will be under HQ, I think. No, we're on Elites now. Right, okay, this is an odd one. This has just been stuck in here under Elites. It's just a one-off one. They'll go back to HQs again. So, they are 2 points each. Obviously, you have to add your war gear. It contains 3 Cenobite Servitors. Each one is armed with a close combat weapon. Only 1 unit of Cenobite Servitors can be included in your army. Weapon skill 5+, ballistic skill 5+, movement 5, strength toughness 3, 1 wound, 1 attack, leadership 6 and a 4 up save. Mind Wiped. Cenobite Servitors improve their weapon skill to 4+, and their leadership to 9 whilst they are within 6 inches of Grimaldus. The Relic of Hell's Reach. Friendly Black Templars units automatically pass morale test whilst they're within 12 inches of models from this unit. Okay. So, that unit of 3 will cost 6 points. It must be the cheapest unit in the game. 6 point unit of 3 of them. Not bad actually. You'd be mad not to add those in with Grimaldus just there. Nice fluffy theme that, to have those mixed in for the Black Templars. Okay, so back to regular HQs then. Corsaro Khan. 107. It's cheap enough. Movement 6, weapon skill 2+, ballistic skill 2+, strength 4, toughness 4, 5 wounds, 4 attacks, leadership 9 and 3 up save. He's armed with the Moon Fang, bolt pistol, frame crack grenades. The Moon Fang then is strength of the user, it's AP -3, and they're D3 damage. This weapon is ×2 strength, so strength 8 if the target is a character. Okay, they should know no fear. Right, so battle you can reroll 1s for units of White Scars within 6, and then for the Khan, add 1 to the strength of friendly White Scars units within 6 when they attack in the fight phase if they charged, and he gets his 4+ Invon. So he's not bad, it's okay, about average there. Next is Salamanders, the Vulcan Heshtan. It's a nice model here. Weapon skill 2+, ballistic skill 2+, strength 4, toughness 4, 5 wounds, 4 attacks, leadership 9, 2 up save. Games Workshop are quite sensible here with these. Don't strike any of these as overpowered. They go for fluffy rules. It all seems to be going pretty good here. No, not bad at all really. So he comes with the Gauntlet of the Forge and the Spear of Vulcan. Gauntlet of the Forge is range. Vulcan Extensions check is 154 points. He's a fair bit more than some of the others. The Gauntlet of the Forge is range 8, assault D6. Not that reliable. Strength's like a heavy flame, and strength 5, AP -1. It's auto hits, damage 1. The Spear of Vulcan is +2 strength, so strength 6, AP -2, and D3 points of damage. Right, so battle. Salamanders get rerolls of 1 if they're in 6 of him. He gets a 3+ Invon, which is pretty good. And then Forge Father. You can reroll failed hit and wound rolls for friendly Salamander models within 6 of Heshtan that are firing melter or flame weapons. For the purposes of this ability, the melter weapon is any weapon profile whose name includes the melter. And then the flame weapon is any weapon profile whose name includes the word flame. Vulcan Heshtan's Gauntlet of the Forge is also a flame weapon. Okay, it's not too bad. Good fame as well for him. Right, Kavan Strike then. This is for Raven Guard. Or Shrike, sorry. Movement 12. Weapon skill, ballistic skill 2+, strength toughness 4, 5 wounds, 5 attacks. Nice, a lot of attacks for him. Leadership 9, 3 up save. 150 points. So you get with him the Raven's Talons and Fragment Crack Grenades. It's strength for the user, it's only strength 4, it's AP -3, D3 damage. You can reroll failed wound rolls for this weapon. So 2s to hit and then usually maybe 4s to wound, rerolling, 5s to wound. Chapter Master can reroll failed hit rolls for friendly Raven Guard units within 6 of him. It's not bad, you stick him in with your elite jump units, they land down with him. They get that bonus reroll hits, which is very, very good. Winged Deliverance, you can reroll failed charge rolls for friendly Raven Guard jump pack units within 6. That is exceptionally good. That is really, really good. That really helps, because remember you deep strike down with them and then you need 9 to reach in combat, but with the ability to reroll, that is very, very helpful. Really good benefits for him, he's really good. The jump pack assault you can drop down as long as you're more than 9 inches away from the opponent. He does have the 4+ invuln. Yeah, so Kavan Strike is pretty good. Okay, so that's named characters. So now you can sort of customise your own. This is a Captain in Terminator armour. So Captain in Terminator armour will cost 105 points. It comes with a power sword. It's about 3 points it should be. Oh, it's 4 points. Yeah, 4 points, sorry. Okay, so it's not that much at all. Alright, so weapons then. Stormbolt as the usual. A wrist-mounted grenade launcher. It's interesting. It's range 12, assault D3, strength 4. It says AP 1 here. I'm guessing that's AP -1. And then just 1 damage, so not that significant there. Chain Fist. Looks pretty good. Times 2 strength, so strength 8, AP -4, that's pretty good, and then 2 points of damage. Okay, it's -1 from the hit roll, but he's on 2+ to hit anyway, so he wouldn't be too badly affected. Power sword, and then there's a relic blade, +2 strength, AP -3 and D3 points of damage for that. Then there's options here. This model may replace its Stormbolt Igniter from the Terminator Combi Weapons or Terminator Melee Weapons lists. So we'll look up what you can get here. Okay, so the first one's Lightning Claw, so we have to go to Weaponry, which is back here somewhere. It's here, Melee, Lightning Claw, strength for the user, AP -2, 1 point of damage, you can reroll failed wounds. So Lightning Claws, alright, each time it fights, if you're armed with 2 of them, you can make an extra attack. If you have 2 Lightning Claws, not that deadly a weapon really. Then a Power Fist, which is here, times 2 strength, AP -3 and D3 points of damage, and it's -1 to hit. It would be better suited to a captain. You get better value for points with that, because you're getting more attacks and more likely to hit as well. So the Power Fist would be well used on something like a captain in Terminator armour. Yeah, it wouldn't be too bad at all. With that, yeah, 4 attacks come through. With the Fist -1, you still need 3s to hit, so you're probably going to hit with about 3 attacks, that's not bad. There, and then Strength 8 is going to, good chance of wounding. Other weapons here is the Storm Shield, so that's your 3+ invuln save. Yep, just check that. And then Thunder Hammer. Let's see how good that is. ×2 strength again. 3 points, or -3 there on your armor, and then 3 points damage. Again, it's -1 to hit. 3 points damage. It's more reliable than a D3. Thunder Hammer's significantly better, I think, than a Power Fist. Yeah, much better. I'll take a Thunder Hammer, definitely, over a Power Fist. I wonder what the points differences are. That's a question worth asking. Let's have a look. Right at the back here. So, Lightning Claw is 8 points, 2 of them is 12. Then we look, Power Fist is 12 points. Thunder Hammer for characters is 21. Oh, you're paying a fair bit more. So if you're low on points, then the Fist, but definitely the Thunder Hammer is preferable. You have to actually pay more for it for characters. Whereas the Power Fist is always 12. So it's more of a bargain to go for the Power Fist there, definitely. And then Power Sword we've seen is 4 points. Okay. Relic Blade, by the way, is 21 points. So Terminator Combi Weapons. Combi Flamer, Melter, Plasma, Stormbolter, pretty much know the rules for them. And then the costs for those is Combi Flamer is 11 points, Combi Melter 19, Plasma 15. See, with Combi now, the rules for these, you're looking at, it's not one use only, which is a big improvement. So it may sound expensive, but you're getting to use it, I believe. Let's just have a look here. There's pages of stuff here. Combi Melter. Attacking with this weapon, choose one or both of the profiles below. If you choose both, subtract 1 from hit rolls. So yeah, you can fire the metal gun every turn. Combi's great. No, Combi Melter gun's fantastic. And remember, it's going on a captain who's going to hit on, yeah, a 2+. So you have a stratagem stat on standby there, or a captain nearby. Don't know whether he benefits from his own reroll ones, but if you have another captain nearby, then you could get that. So it's very reliable shooting a deadly weapon. So yeah, a Combi Melter's pretty nasty. And then I'd go for the Fist if I was trying to save points. If I had loads of points to spend, would go for the Thunder Hammer, I reckon. And then Terminator armor, pretty good. If you wanted to add layers of protection to him, take the Storm Shield instead of the Combi Melter. Okay, so next one is Captain and Cataphractii armor. Is he more expensive? Yeah, he's going to be a bit more expensive. Yeah. 126 points. God, it's a fair bit. So for this you'll get movement 4, he's very slow. Very slow. Still all the same stat line. It comes with Power Sword, Combi Bolter. And then the same loadout. You can go for item from Combi Weapons or Terminator melee weapons. You can go for a Relic Blade with him. Right, so Cataphractii armor and Iron Halo. This model has a 3+ invuln. Okay, so the invuln save improves. But you must halve the result of the dice roll when determining how far this model advances. Right, it's very slow. You reroll 1s, for units, teleport strike. So basically you're paying the extra 20 odd points. Captain in Terminator armor. Gross. Yeah, an extra 21 points will get you an improved invuln but reduced speed. And that is about it. It's pretty much all that you get. Nothing else. It's not so keen on the Cataphractii. You may as well take the Captain in Terminator armor, and if you really want the invuln save, just take the Storm Shield. Now, but for interest's sake, how much is the Storm Shield? characters is 15 points. Yeah, it'd be cheaper to take the Storm Shield. I guess with the Cataphracti, he comes with a 3+ anyway, and it frees up some slots to take shooting weapons, melee weapons, and so on. So that could be the reason. Not so keen on the models either. Right, so then you've got regular captain. Here, all the same stat line, except his save is a 3+, and he's got a 6-inch move. So captain, and he's 74 points, is pretty cheap here in points, not too bad. Right, so then the captain comes with a chainsword, mastercrafted bolt gun, bolt pistol, frag, and crack grenades. So mastercrafted bolt gun's pretty good actually. It's normal range there of a bolter, rapid fire 1, strength 4, but it's AP -1 and it's 2 points of damage. So that's pretty good. I wonder how much you have to pay for that. Yeah. Mastercrafted bolt gun. 3 points. Cheap. Very cheap. Okay, that's not bad a weapon, that one. This model may replace its mastercrafted bolt gun with an item from the pistols, combi weapons, or melee weapons. So we'll need to check those out. Check these out at this early stage, and then we'll know what they are and how good they are for the rest of the review. So the first lot to check then is the pistols that are available. So bolt pistol, just usual rules for that. Should be no problem, just seeing if there's a points cost for it. No, it's 0. A grav pistol costs 8 points. It's quite expensive. So now I need to. So I don't know how else they could have done this. Whether they could have gone for putting that. I mean, the stats couldn't already go with these. So they did have to put. They should have just put this at the back with this slot and not put this stuff in between. That's the annoying bit. So it's actually made it more difficult now than the indexes originally were. Grav pistol then. Is pistol 1, it's range 12, strength 5, it's AP -3, 1 point damage. If the target has a save characteristic of 3 or better, this weapon has a damage of D3. Yeah, so it's good against power armor or better, basically. But then damage of D3, you find it as a Chaos Space Marine who has 1 wound, that's not really going to be that significant because all the extra damage is going to be lost on a single model. So it's better against things like Tyranny monstrous creatures with a 3+ save, Wraith Knights, that kind of stuff. Grav's better suited for. But Grav seems to have taken a bit of a. I don't think it's as powerful as it was. You're still paying a fair amount of points, so it's quite specialised. So, okay, plasma pistol is the other one. I wonder if this is comparable in cost. Here, NOP plasma. Oh, it's half. It's 13. It's 7 points. 7 points of plasma, and that will get you range 12 again. You can choose pistol 1, strength 7, AP -3 and 1 point damage. It's quite straightforward. And then you can go for supercharge. If you roll a 1, you'll die. But it's pistol 1, strength 8, AP -3 and 2 points of damage. Okay, plasma pistol's okay. It's pretty cheap actually. I think the plasma pistol's pretty good. Not too bad. The pistols are quite cool because you can fire them in combat now, so you can get good use out of them. So that's those pistols. So combi weapons, I think we've seen. Combi flamer, combi grav, melter, plasma, and storm bolter. So grav, maybe we'll check to see if it's any improvements. Let's check points cost. Go to here. Combi grav 17 points. It's a fair bit. And then let's go here. For combi grav. It's just a bolt gun stat, and then the other one is 18 inches, rapid fire, strength 5, AP -3. So it's the same kind of damage that comes through. It's no better than the pistol, just the range improves. And you'll get 2 shots at half the range. So Steel grab's quite expensive and not that impressive. So that's that. Melee weapons. Chainsaw's just an extra attack. Other than that, it's just normal. Lightning claw we've seen. Power axe. So just get some costs here. I'm covering these now, and then we'll know what they are for later. So power axe. It's just 5 points. Cheap. Now I'll go to the melee section. To power axe. +1 strength, so be at strength 5, so AP -2, 1 point of damage. So that's alright. If it was 2 points damage, it'd be better, but it's just quite a bit. It's cheap though, not too bad. And then power axe, power fist, we've seen. Power lance. Don't know about the power lance. Suppose you can take it. Wonder what a power lance is. There's no restriction, just see if you can take it. Or melee weapons. Melee weapons, power lance. Interesting. So, a power lance is 4 points. Very, very cheap. And that will get you +2 strength, AP -1, and 1 point of damage. Right, so pretty good on the strength, pretty poor with the damage. It's just those combinations: power sword, power axe, power lance, up and down the scale. More emphasis on damage for some, more on strength, and you just sort of choose between. They all roughly seem to be the same kind of points cost. Power maul, +2 strength, AP -1. Yeah, okay. I guess that's going to be quite cheap. 4 points, yeah. And then power sword, that's AP -3, strength for the user, 1 point of damage. And then thunder hammer we've seen as well. Okay. Okay, so yeah, I would see again. Yeah, you want to get the best use of that 2+ to hit with shooting, or 2+ to hit in combat. You know, so things like thunder hammers, power fists will be pretty good. Obviously, the best is going to be the thunder hammer to use for him. And then for shooting, plasma seems pretty good. Melter seems pretty good if you're going to go for the strongest stuff with those. It's sort of worth it because, you know, Captain, he's going to be buried behind other units. He's quite well protected, so it's worth investing in him. It's more likely that those upgrades are going to survive than they are on regular units. Okay. So, Captain on a bike, you're just going to have access to the same stuff. Yeah, just check the rules here, sorry. So teleport strike, like regular Captain, can be given a jump pack. This model replaces chainsaw with a storm shield, relic blade, or an item from the melee weapons. That's the options. You can take a jump pack. Move increases to 12. And it gains jump pack and fly. Okay, so you can have a jump pack Captain, cool. So rights of battle, units, rerolls of 1. It's chapter unit, so I'll take it as vehicles as well. Stick in between a couple of Predator Annihilators. Pretty helpful. Does have his 4+ invuln save. If he takes the Storm Shield, it's a 3+. Yeah, okay. So yeah, Captain on a bike then is all the same stats and options available, except his move increases to 14. Toughness becomes 5 for being on the bike. Attacks remain the same. Yep. You can turbo boost when you advance it 6 inches instead of rolling the dice. For him. Captain on the bike then's an option. And he will cost, off the back here, 98 points, and then plus your upgrades on top. Right. Here we go, Primaris Captain. This is, I'm interested in this one. Okay. So, yep. Okay, I'm interested in this because branching out into Primaris, he's looking pretty good here actually. This is a level up now. It does look pretty cool. Right, so Primaris Captain will cost 87 points as opposed to normal captain is 74. So you're not paying much more for him. I think he's pretty good here. So Primaris captain will get movement 6. Weapon skill, ballistic skill 2+, strength and toughness 4. Comes with 6 wounds though, so you're paying the points, you get an extra wound. You get 5 attacks, so you're getting an extra attack. Leadership 9 free up, so that's pretty good. It comes with Mastercrafted Auto Bolt Rifle. Sounds quite cool. Bolt pistol, frag and crack grenades. So Mastercrafted Auto Bolt Rifle. It's Assault 2, so even at longer range, it's 24. Still gonna get the 2 shots. Strength 4. It's no minus, but it's 2 damage. A Mastercrafted Stalker Bolt Rifle is heavy 1. So if you move, it's -1, but for him, it's going to drop to 3+ to hit, so it's still pretty good. But it's only 1 shot. It's range 36, strength 4, AP -2, and 2 points of damage. Those are quite tame upgrades there. But I don't know what else you can have access to here. Primaris Captain. May replace his Mastercrafted Autobot Rifle with Mastercrafted Stalker Bolt Rifle. And he may take a Power Sword. Oh dear. You can't access anything else. Oh no. So, oh dear, right, so Power Sword you're going to pay 4 points. Top of that, you're looking about 91. So Mastercrafted Auto Bolt Rifle. Mastercrafted Auto Bolt Rifle, 4 points. Top of that, you're looking about 95. And the Stalker's an extra point. Right, it's about 95 points here in total you're paying for him. So you're going to give him the you would pay up for the Power Sword. You know, those 5 attacks is worth doing. And then the Bolter as well. Okay. Yeah. Not sure what to do about him. It's interesting. You still get the rights of battle with that reroll 1s. And he does get the 4+ Invon. But cut down a war gear for him, that's a bit of a shame. Sort of a waste of those 5 attacks and all that decent stat line. He's very, very restricted compared to regular captain. He's got access to loads of stuff. Okay. So now, this might be more appealing. This is the Captain in Gravis armour. Yeah, this looks tastier. Okay, so Captain Gravis armour is 102, so again you're going to pay about an extra 14 odd points. But for that you'll get a drop in movement, movement 5, toughness becomes 5, so that's an improvement, 6 wounds, 5 attacks, 3 up save. Now, he comes with Mastercrafted Power Sword. Let's have a look. I have to go to melee weapons. 10 points on top of that. Okay, so you're looking at 102, 112 points so far, and then you've got to pay out for the Bolt Storm Gauntlet. $25. Ouch. Alright, so looking at about 137 points. So a fair bit more, but the Gauntlet's pretty good. So the Bolt Storm Gauntlet is pistol free, so you get fire in combat range 12, strength 4, AP nothing, and then 1 point damage. Then in combat, it's times 2 strength on strength 8. It's AP -3 and then D3 points damage. It is -1 to hit, but you'd be on freeze to hit with 5 attacks. It's pretty nasty. And the Power Sword. No, this is a Mastercrafted Power Sword. This is strength of the user, AP -3 and then 2 points of damage. Okay, then you've got rights of battle on your Invon save. He does look pretty good. There's a picture of him here. Does look very, very nice indeed. It's a nice model, that one. Stick him in amongst your Primaris Marines. It does look very nice indeed. But a nice bit of melee capability with him. Pretty tough. 6 wounds to absorb, 4+ Invon. Loads of attacks. Toughness 5. No, he's pretty good. The look of him, of all the HQs, if I was doing Primaris Marines, I think he's pretty good. Okay, so that's him done. So regular librarian, which I have one for the Imperial Fists, will cost. I think the cost actually isn't too bad here for a regular librarian. Just a straight librarian, 93 points for him. I wonder how much you have to pay out on top of that. So he comes with the Force Stave. You might have to pay out for that one. £14 points, yeah, it's looking at about 110 odd points, but a bit less. Regular librarian. Movement 6, 3+ weapon skill, ballistic skill, strength, toughness 4, 4 wounds, 3 attacks, leadership 9, 3 up save. The stave is +2 strength, AP -1 and D3 damage. It's not bad actually for causing trouble. Then you may replace the bolt pistol with a bolt gun, or pistols or combi weapons. You may replace the Force Stave with a Force Axe or Force Sword. The Force Axe is +1 strength, AP -2, D3 damage, and the Force Sword is strength for the user, it's AP -3 and D3. So, let's have a look here. Force Sword's 12, if you want to save a few points. Force Stave's 14, Force Axe is 16 points. Okay. Now, he can go for a jump pack. Movement increases to 12 and it gains jump and fly. Psychic Hood, you can add one to know the which tests that you take for models. For this model against enemy psychos within 12. An easy rule to forget that one, but there's a slight bonus there. Jump pack, if you take that. Psycho, you can attempt to manifest 2 and attempt to deny 1. It knows smite and 2 powers, so quite standard. It can manifest 2 plus smite, so yep. Sorry, yeah, so it can manifest 2, and that could be smite and 1 other, or it could be 2 others and not smite. Okay, so yeah, decent enough. Right, so here's the new one, the Primaris Librarian. Just a general improvement here, by the looks of it, as you'd expect. So the Primaris Librarian is 93 points. The same as a regular librarian. Interesting. And then you add the Force Sword on top. So Games Workshop have made a bit of a boo-boo here. Primaris Librarian is 93 points. A regular librarian is 93 points. So they're the same points cost. I'm not sure what's going on here. Because he's better, there's no disadvantage. Yep. The same powers available and the amounts. But you're getting, for 0 points increase, they must FAQ this. But for 0 points increase, you're going to get, let's just say they correct it later, but it's movement 6, you get same here, but you get an extra wound, an extra attack, yep, for him. So it is an improvement just there. So that's the Primaris Librarian. Not sure if I go for Psychers or not. I do Primaris Marines. I'm still not totally sure on the theme. I don't really want to go for like one of each unit. I want to do a nice spread, but I do want to have a nice theme to most of the armies I have are quite themed towards some kind of philosophy or idea or a sort of story behind each of the armies. So I don't want to just do one of each on sort of. So if you've got suggestions, then by all means leave them in the comments and I'll read those of interest. Just an idea of the idea is that they can be called upon by other chapters. You know, they arrive, they come in, they save the day. So that kind of army that sort of can turn up and save the day. It's that kind of option with them. So Librarian in Terminator armour is 143 points. God, that's a big increase in points there. Just to get extra wound, 2 up saves, a 3+ and a 5+ in one. And that's about it. Yep, you get your teleport strike as well. That's quite a points increase there. Manifest 2 and an I1. Same psychic abilities. Right, Chaplain in Terminator armor. I have this one, Chaplain Titus for the fists. He is 115. Not bad. I think I used to pay about 120, I think, in 7th edition. But here I get his weapon skills 2+. Nice. That's really good. Movement 5, ballistic skill 3+, strength and toughness 4, 5 wounds, 3 attacks, leadership 9, 2 up save. He's armed with a Codex Arcanum, which I think is free. Yep. So he's straight 115. Stormbolter, you have to pay 4 points for, I think. Nope, just 2. There's 117 points for the Stormbolter. And you get a fair amount of shots with that. Rapid fire 2. So if you get within 12, it's 4 shots. In freeze to hit, that's not bad. But if you want, you can exchange the Stormbolter for Combi Terminator Combi Weapons. So you can go for the Melter and so on, Grav. Rosarius has the 4+ Invuln. You reroll hit rolls in the fight phase for friendly units within 6 of him. So that buff, that bubble, it's a 6-inch bubble now, it's not just one unit he's with. So vastly improved the Chaplain. Spiritual leaders, all friendly units within 6 use the Chaplain's leadership instead of their own. Nice. Yeah, Chaplain Terminator's great. Shame about the attacks, only 3 of them. But I think he's worth the points just for the improved bubble there. Rerolling hits is very, very valuable indeed. So that's that one. What you can do, if you want that bubble, that bonus of reroll hits, I'm tempted to do this with the Blood Angels, is take just a regular Chaplain, like I used to, because he's actually pretty cheap. He's 72 points. You know, and you can give him a bolt pistol and the Codex Arcanum and he'll sit there at 72 points. Very, very cheap. The Codex Arcanum is not a bad weapon. You get all those bonuses. This guy here, Chaplain, regular Chaplain, still on 2s to hit combat. Nice. And then you can go for combi weapons and pistols. You can take a jump pack. And then he gets the bonus there, Litanies of Hate. 72 points. You know, Thunderhammer Terminators, they're not that impressive in 8th edition, but if you stick him in with them, all of a sudden they reroll into hits. That isn't so bad at all. So that's a big buff that he grants. So regular Chaplain's pretty good. He's a cheap HQ. Maybe you're spending lots of points on an army. You're running out of points. You need to get some HQs in. Chaplain's a great idea. Now, a Primaris Chaplain could well be an option here. I wonder how much he will be. He has a Absolver bolt pistol here. Range 16, pistol, strength 5, AP -1. Nice. So that costs 0. Okay, and then Primaris Chaplain is 85 instead of 72. Really good. Really good. Because same stats, except he has 5 wounds, not 4, and he has 4 attacks. Much, much better. That pistol's brilliant. Codex Arcanum is decent enough here as well for him. Yeah, pretty good. And then all the same, 4+ Invuln, Spiritual Leaders, Litanies of Hate for him. Yeah, Primaris Chaplain's good as well. I like the regular Chaplain. Primaris Chaplain's cheap. Yeah, he just sits at 85. Nice. Yeah, so you may well find him in the Primaris Marines army. So more HQs, there's so many here for Space Marines now. Okay, there's a new rank here, Lieutenants. Cool, and it's HQ, cheap HQs, great idea. Okay. Right, so Tech Marine. It's pretty cheap, James has been using him. He's 45 points. God. Right, so then you've got to add to that a power axe, a servo arm. Servo arm's 12, so 57 points now. Power axe, 57. It's about 62 points. Still very, very cheap. And bolt bolt pistol, frame crack grenades, that's fine. So movement 6, weapon skill 3+, ballistic skill of 2+ actually for him. Strength toughness 4, 4 wounds, 3 attacks. He's a cheap HQ, 2 up save as well. Pretty good. Now, this model may replace its bolt pistol with a bolt gun, or an item from the pistols or combi weapons, we've seen that. You may replace the power axe with melee weapons. Okay, so this model may take a servo harness, which comprises an additional servo arm. Okay, a plasma cutter and a flamer. Yeah, the harness doesn't come under one entry, so you have to pay out for the servo arms, you have to pay 12. Plasma cutter, yeah, and you have to pay another 7. And then what was it, a flamer? A flamer, yes. And then the flamer is 9. Cool. A fair bit to add all of that in. Check to see the rules for the plasma cutter. So, it'll just be here. So you can go for assault 1, range 12, strength 7, AP -3, 1 point damage, or you can go supercharged. It's the same just as regular plasma, just the range is 12, and it's not pistol, it's assault. Okay, so that's that. It's not too expensive, it's 7 points. So you go for all of that, it looks quite cool, just as illustrated just here. Yep, okay. The servo arms are quite cool. Each servo arm can only be used to make 1 attack, so you can have 2 of them. Hitting on 3+, you do -1, so you're on force to hit with him. But if you do hit, it's ×2 strength, it's strength 8 with him, -2 on the AP, and then 3 points damage. Yeah, servo arm's pretty nasty actually. So he can be kitted out quite good. Right, so each servo arm can be used to make 1 attack each time the bearer fights. Right, so I take it the way it works is you've got 3 attacks and you dedicate 1. If you've got 2 arms, dedicate the second one out. That way it's not additional attacks. You use up your attacks on 2 of those. I think that's how it works. Okay. So that's that. You're looking at about 70-80 points for all those upgrades. Blessings of the Omnissiah. At the end of your movement phase, this model can repair a single vehicle. It gains D3 lost wounds. Can only repair once a turn. D3 sounds a lot. It would have been a lot in 7th, you know, with hull points. But D3 lost wounds, on average it's 2 wounds out of what, 11, 13, 16. It's not too significant, but helpful enough. It could come in helpful. Just there. So Tech Marine, another cheap HQ. Next, another cheap HQ coming up, that's Lieutenants. So regular Space Marine Lieutenant will cost 60 points. It's not too cheap. I like the Chaplains. But you get weapon skill 2+ for him. Usual stat line, 4 wounds, 3 attacks. You can go with chainsaw, mastercrafted bolt gun, bolt pistol, frame crack grenades. So any model replaces mastercrafted bolt gun with items from pistols, combi, or melee, so you can kit him out how you want. You can replace his chainsaw with melee weapons. You can take a jump pack. So tactical precision, you can reroll wound rolls of 1 for friendly units that are within 6 of a lieutenant. Right, so it is different to the captains. The captain is reroll your misses, I believe. Just check here. No, it's reroll hit rolls of 1. Reroll hit rolls of 1. Yeah, it's reroll hit rolls of 1, which is helpful enough, and then reroll your wounds of 1 as well. So you could double them up to get those bonuses. And it counts for units, so yeah, you can have both of them hang back behind some tanks. And then just getting those reroll ones on the wounds as well. You have a Tech Marine behind doing repairs, really dig in with the vehicles and repair them that way. Company Heroes. During deployment, all models in this unit must be set up at the same time, though they do not need to be set up in coherency. From that point onwards, each lieutenant is treated as a separate unit. Right. Oh, I see, look, because it says here, this unit contains 1 lieutenant. It can also include an additional lieutenant. Each one will, okay, so you set up both. If you take 2 of them, you have to set up both at the same time, though they do not need to be set up in coherences. You can dot them around, spread them around your battle line, and then each lieutenant is treated as a separate unit. Okay, so that's him. A Primaris lieutenant then is 70 points, so it's an extra 10 points. Will get you an extra attack and extra wound. Yep. And same stat line, same upgrades. Yep, tactical precision, yep, so it's all just there. Lieutenants are okay-ish, but not that impressive. But what I would say is on their own they're not that great. And then across here, Captain Gravis Armour is okay. But if you combine the 2 and both of them charge into something and they're well equipped and well armed, especially for Primaris, the 2 of them working together could cause a lot of damage. If you double them up, which is an option. It look quite cool, the 2 of them hanging around with each other, granting the bonuses that each can provide, and then also themselves being able to fight as well. So you've got some Intercessor Marines moving around, stick a couple of these in between, and all of a sudden you are granting some great improvements to the units around, and then adding a bit of close combat protection capability that way. So no, that seemed fine. Yeah, no problem at all. So that's the Primaris lieutenants. Okay, so HQs are finished. Loads of options there. They all seem pretty sensible, and there's some good ones. Do like the chaplains, I have to say, and the Primaris HQs, pretty good. I don't think they're over the top. You pay your extra points, you get a better stat line, so it all seems sensible enough. Okay, so we'll cover troops. So first is your regular Space Marines, tactical squad. So here, Space Marines now are 13 points. I think they used to be 14, so 13 points. I would say that all of their war gear, standard war gear, is free of charge, but a bolt gun is going to be free, bolt pistol, frag and crack grenades, yeah. Yeah, so bear in mind here you've got bolt pistols, so you can fire your bolters. If you get locked in combat, remember to fire the pistols whilst in combat. Rules, the bolt gun is just rapid fire, 1 range 24, strength 4, AP minus is nothing, and then 1 point of damage. So your options is pretty much how it was before. Space Marine Sergeant, who's a free upgrade now, he can replace his bolt pistol and bolt gun with Sergeant equipment. So we'll take a look at what you get with that. So bolt pistol, chainsword, grav pistol, plasma pistol, lightning claw, power axe, power fist, power maul, power sword, thunder hammer. Covered all of those already, so you can take any of them. I doubt I would bother, because the sergeant's got 2 attacks. You'd be wasting things like thunder hammers and power fists on sergeants. It's better paying out the points, paying out the same points and sticking it on. In most cases, paying the same points and then sticking it on one of the decent characters. Right, if the unit contains less than 10 models, one of the Marines can replace his bolt gun with special weapons or heavy. Yes, you can take a 5-man squad and take the heavy weapon. If the unit contains 10 models, one Space Marine replaces bolt gun with items from the special weapons and one other from the heavy. Okay. Combat squads available, you can split them down if their units are 10. And that's it. Okay, so let's have a look at special weapons. Flamer. No, that one, that's just D6, range 8, D6 damage, or D6 shots, automatically hit, strength 4, no minus on the AP and 1 point of damage. That, pretty tame. There, and that will cost, we'll get the costs in here. Flamer is 9 points. It's I don't know. 9 points. Used to pay 5. I wouldn't really bother with flamers now for Marines. They're better when you got loads of them. Multiple D6 shots. When you got one in the tactical squad, very, very insignificant. And almost double the points of what it used to be. And you can hit more with the old template. You know, you could hit 10 men. You know, place a template over, they all hit. With this, it's D6. You could have 20. You could have a horde of 50 miniatures in front of you, all at once. Just get one hit. So, some people rate flamers. I don't know. They're better maybe if you've got multiple. You know, if you've got 5 flamers in a squad, 5 D6 shots. Yes, that's really good. But when they're on their own, 1s and 2s are pretty poor. So that's that one. A grav gun, then, is 15 points. And that will get range 18, strength 5, AP -3, it's rapid fire 1. So you've seen that already. Not that great. Melter gun, I just think they're the way to go. Melter gun, all of a sudden that tactical squad's got a nasty sting to it. We know the rules of melter guns are deadly against vehicles. And then we'll just see how much it is. Melter gun, 17 points. It's better than grav though, it's 15 points, so I think it's worth it. Again, they've got more expensive. It used to be yeah, I think it used to be 10 points for melter. So then plasma gun is the other one. Yep, should be range 24. It costs £13 points. There's 2 points less. They've changed things around. Melter's gone up, plasma's dropped in cost, and we've seen the rules for plasma just there. Alright, so covered that already. So not bad. They're generally the same points as they were. The overall cost of the Marines has come down. You're not having to pay out to upgrade the Sergeant, and then you can keep them nice and cheap if you keep the upgrades down on them. I mean, even still, a full squad of 10 Marines and upgrades, 130 points, and it's still pretty decent. It's a lot of power armour to try and get through. A fair amount of bolter shots. You've got combat squads available. Okay, so Intercessor Squad. Sorry, we need to cover heavy weapons, which is important actually to get that covered. So heavy weapons available to tactical squads, and I sort of went for 10-man tactical squads for Imperial Fists. So grav cannon and grav amp. We'll see if there's an improvement with that. It will cost 28 points. Used to be 35, so it's not too bad. I believe it was. Grav cannon, 24 inches, heavy 4, so you do get the 4 shots. But if you move, it's -1 to hit. Strength 5, AP -3, 1 point of damage. If the target is over 3+, better this weapon has D3 damage. Right, it's pretty much as it was. Okay. But the extra shots is pretty cool, 4 shots coming through. But if you move, you're only going to be hitting with probably 2 of them. It is quite tame. Heavy bolter is 10 points, that's stayed the same. Not bad at all. And heavy bolter. Heavy 3, range 36, strength 5, AP -1, and 1 point of damage. Las cannon costs 25 points. I think it's better than grav. 25 points, the las cannon. And your 48-inch range, nice range, heavy one. Strength 9, that's really good. So you won't, like even a Land Raider, it's still freeze to wound. AP -3, and then there's the deadly part, D6 points of damage. You get some great results with that. That's not bad at all. Missile launcher. It could well be an option as well. Missile launcher. Yeah, I rate the missile launcher. It's pretty good. I wonder how much it is. I'll cover the stats in just a moment. Same points as the laser cannon. Interesting. So 25 points. If you wanted to go for versatility, then go for the missile launcher. If you wanted just for that part of the unit to go for killing vehicles and monsters and so on, then definitely take the laser cannon. Yes, missile launcher here is range 48, still brilliant range. Heavy D6 for the frag, strength 4, AP minus nothing, and then 1 point of damage. It's pretty unreliable. And then the crack missiles range 48, heavy 1, strength 8, AP minus 2, and it still keeps the D6 points of damage. So that's not bad. But still, sometimes I used to take missile launchers to save points instead of taking laser cannons, but they're the same now. Still think the laser cannons deadlier. Yeah. A multi-melter, which is a bit of an option now, because if you move with heavy, it's not snapshots to hit anymore, it's -1. So the multi-melter is still something that can be used on the move. That will cost 27 points, and for that you're going to get range 24, I'd imagine. Yep, strength 8, AP minus 4, D6 points of damage. You've got to get within 12 though to get that extra 2d6, choose the best. It may require a bit of moving going on. Just that. Laser cannon's nice. You sit way back at the far end of your table and then just snipe with it, and then protected by a large tactical squad, because you're choosing which models die now, so you can leave the laser cannon till last. I think it's a great idea. Yeah, you can do things like take a laser cannon and a melter gun, combat squad them down, send off the small squad to go and hunt stuff up close, keep the laser cannons back and shoot. And they've still got the 4-men bodyguard around them. I think that would work quite well. Plasma cannon's the other option. Looks impressive on the battlefield. Costs 21 points, that's not too bad. And then you get range 36, decent range, heavy D3, strength 7, AP minus 3, 1 point damage, and you can go for supercharge. Still heavy D3, but it's strength 8, it is 2 points damage. Any ones, then you're slain. And again, for those reasons, you know, you're going to want your Primaris captain nearby to get the rerolls on those ones, stop you from being slain. So that's the heavy weapon options just there for tactical squads. So now, in 7th, people are saying that so the way I did my squads was 10-man squads, buried a laser cannon inside, and then put a plasma gun there. Sometimes broke the squads down or just kept them together. That's what criticised a bit, but now it's quite viable in 8th edition to bury that laser cannon inside that unit. Definitely seems an option. And then I reckon the best upgrade if you're going to go for the special weapon would probably be the melter gun. You can fire them, it makes it very versatile, because for example you come up against a vehicle, the guy with the melter gun can fire at the vehicle, and the other guys with bolters can do covering fire at different targets. So, you know, you're not wasting your bolter shots by having to fire into the same target as the melter gun goes after. Same with the laser cannon. You know, you've got 4 men protecting him, they can shoot at one target, the guy with the laser cannon can shoot off at something else. Brilliant. So I think that would work well. Okay, so yeah, so that's tactical squads with their ability to go combat squads and things, pretty good. Bearing your heavy weapons inside them, so you can bodyguard, you know, the laser cannon, put 4 guys around it or the whole squad. Opponent has to get through all of them to get to him. Use him to snipe in one direction. The other guys with bolters can cover fire at different targets. All very good indeed. Then you've got the ability to combat squad down. So you get a heavy weapon in one, put the special weapon inside the other combat squad, maybe take a melter gun, I think would be one of the better options. Then say you come up against the vehicle, the melter gun covers the vehicle, the other guys can do covering fire at other targets. So that would all work really well. What I'm checking here is this Space Marine Sergeant may replace his bolt pistol bolt gun with items from the Sergeant equipment. Sergeant equipment. No. Yes. Yes, you can. Look, Sergeant equipment, it lists all those that we covered, and then there's also one weapon can be chosen from the following list: a bolt gun, combi flamer, combi melter, combi plasma storm bolter. Now, onto something, okay. So what you could do in the combat squad of the, you got the tactical squad, one combat squad you can stick a las cannon in, combat squad it down, that can snipe at long range. The other squad you can send out to go hunting stuff at close range. You can take melter and then combi melter for the sergeants. Now you've got 2 melter shots, and that's potentially caused a lot of trouble. Or 2 flamers, 2d6 shots if you want to go clearing out hordes and stuff. If you get charged, you get 2d6 hits with Overwatch. Yep, that would all work well. Fine. So that's definitely an option for equipping them. Yep. Okay. So next is intercessor squads. Beautiful miniatures, look fantastic. They cost, so regular Marines 13, and intercessor is 20, so you're paying 7 points more, and for that you get everything the same except you're on an extra wind, an extra attack as well. That's pretty good, it's a good improvement in that area. You can go for 4 of them, you get the sergeant in with them. You can go for an extra 5 of them, so you can take squads of 10. The bolt rifle, I think, is 0. Bolt rifle, yes, 0. And it's here. The bolt rifle is range 30, it's an improved range. Rapid fire ones, you do get the extra shot at close range or half the range. Strength 4, it is AP -1. That's pretty good. You know, you're up against other targets, they're 4+, they drop to 5+ save. 3+ save units drop to 4+. It's quite significant, the -1. It really does help. So that's the bolt rifle, and it comes in with the intercessor squad. All models in the unit may replace their bolt rifle with auto bolt rifles or stalker bolt rifles. So you can snipe a bit with the stalkers, range 36, we've seen them already. And then the auto bolt rifle is more for assault. For quick movement and firing with that, but there's no -1, it's assault. Range 24 is assault too, but there's no AP -1. So I do like the regular bolt rifle, just for the range, damage, volume of shots. Regular bolt rifle looks pretty good. Now, how much do you pay? Auto bolt rifle. An extra point for him, right? So hardly anything. And then the stalker bolt rifle, 2 points, right? Okay, so there's options available there. Not too significant to upgrade them. Okay. For every 5 models in the unit, one may take an auxiliary grenade launcher. The intercessor sergeant may take a power sword. Power sword might be worth it on the sergeant. Yeah, because for this sergeant he gets 3 attacks, which isn't bad at all. And the power sword's cheap, it's 4 or 5 points. So I'd probably go for the sword. It says here the intercessor sergeant may take a power sword. It doesn't really replace anything, so that's cool. He keeps his, yeah, that's pretty good. He keeps the bolt rifle and can take the sword. It just gives a little bit of combat potential. I'll go for that, yeah, no problem at all. And then the auxiliary grenade launcher. Now, Astartes. Now this is where I've been flicking through this trying to find this. So the Astartes grenade launcher, I don't think it's the same thing. I could be wrong. If you know the answer to this, for every 5 models in the unit, one may take an auxiliary grenade launcher. You go to look it up and I can't find it anywhere. I mean, is it the Astartes grenade launcher? Maybe look to see if it's in here. Astartes grenade launcher. No, it's not. It's not that. So what that means is I think you get that upgrade for free. The auxiliary grenade launcher here, you just take it if you have 5 models. For every 5. It's pretty cool. So the rules are, if a model is armed with an auxiliary grenade launcher, increase the range of any grenade weapons they have to 30 inches, which is fantastic. So all of a sudden you can lob a crack grenade 30 inches. Which is pretty good. It's amazing really. A crack grenade here is strength 6, AP -1 D3 damage. So that creates a nice option there. Not bad at all. You got combat squads available as well. So not bad. So you're looking at 120 points, 124 points of the power sword. Cheap enough unit. It doesn't look, you know, I've played against these once before, they don't look too much. You think, oh, 5 men, it's 5 sort of Marines, not too significant. Don't realise they're 2 wounds each. There's actually 10 wounds to absorb in there. So they're pretty durable. Not too bad at all. So I do like the intercessor squads. I think they're great. I'm not going to bypass those. I think they will feature a fair bit in any army of Primaris Marines that I do. Okay, so that's the intercessors done. So the next troop is the scout squad just here. These are the next ones to take a look at. Alright, so scouts next. It's the one of those Crusader squad as well for troops. So scouts then, movement 6, weapon skill, ballistic skill 3 plus, strength numbers 4, just the usual stat lines really for them, 4 plus save. And the sergeant just gets an extra attack, extra leadership. So you take 5 scouts, you can take up to 5 more. So your starter's shotgun is assault 2, its range 12, strength 4, no AP, 1 damage. If the target is within half range, add 1 to this weapon's strength. Right, so it becomes strength 5. It's not bad, so I think that's improved actually. The shotgun. So your starter's shotgun is 0 points, and a scout costs 11 points. So scouts are cheap enough. Bolt pistol, bolt gun, heavy bolter, range 36, heavy 3, strength 5, AP -1. Heavy bolter's not too bad now. You've got the missile launcher, which you already covered. Sniper rifles, range 36, heavy 1. You may target characters even if they're not the closest enemy unit. If you roll a 6 to wound, inflicts a mortal wound, which is pretty unlikely. It's a shame. Yeah, 4 plus to cause a mortal wound would have been a great incentive to get sniper scouts. Now, how much does a sniper rifle cost? Is 4 points you have to add, so it makes them out at 15 points each. There's combat knife. If you do that, you get an extra attack with this weapon. Okay, so you have to pay for that to add that on, I believe. Yeah, here. Scout Sergeant may replace his bolt pistol and bolt gun with items from the Sergeant equipment list. Anyone may replace his bolt gun with a sniper rifle and a starter's shotgun or a combat knife. Alright, so you have to take it there, but it does replace something. One scout may replace his bolt gun with a heavy bolter and missile launcher. And then camo cloaks, which is here. If every model in the unit has a camo cloak, you can add 2 to saving throws made for models in the unit when they receive the benefit of cover instead of 1. So, good for urban fighting. Yeah, they've got a 4 plus save, goes to 2 plus if they take camo cloaks. That's pretty cool. And we'll see where to find this. There's 3 points, so it's worth it. But then all of a sudden, you're on 18 points a model to give us them a sniper rifle, and that's 10 of them is 180 points just to pick off a wound or two from a character, even if you can see them. I mean, they have got worse, because in the old rules you used to be able to pick models, so it makes it a little difficult now, because in 8th edition, if you receive casualties, you choose which models you want to take away, so you're going to end up leaving your best stuff till last. If there was that rule where you could choose which model you wanted to kill, that's really good. You could pick off things like heavy weapons, sergeants and so on, but now you can, it's only going to affect characters, and then when you shoot at regular units, you're just going to cause regular casualties, and your opponent's going to choose what ones are removed. So sniper scouts are just don't do it anymore, I'm afraid. I don't think they're any good at all. The only improvement, the best way to take them, is to take Telion and to give the benefits that he grants. But other than that, it just seems that scouts never seem to do very well in the codexes. If I was to take them, if I needed to take cheap troops, then I'd do them that way, but I wouldn't really specialise them, because it just doesn't seem too worth it. Yeah, sadly, I don't think sniper scouts are a lot of points to achieve not very much at all. You know, and you can have, say you got 10 of them, 180 point unit. If there's no characters nearby, you end up shooting at regular infantry, and your opponent's just going to pick and choose which ones die, and it's not going to be very effective at all. Concealed positions. When you set up this unit during deployment, it can be set up anywhere on the battlefield that's more than 9 inches away from the enemy deployment zone. Okay. So they could charge on their first turn if units nearby, but sure. Combat squads as well. Yes, so I don't think scouts are that great, but they could be handy if you took a very cheap sort of troop option. If you needed to, it wouldn't be too bad. So they do come with that freeze to hit for shooting, which is pretty good. Okay, so then for Black Templars, then the Crusader squad, which I really like the idea of these Marines mixing with regular scouts. So Crusader squad, 13 points to the regular Marine. The neophyte is 11. It's just scouts and Marines mixed together. It's got 5 initiates in it, which is the Marine. Then you can add an extra 5 to that. You can then include up to 5 neophytes. This is a bigger squad, or up to 10 neophytes. A squad of 20 if you wanted to. A sword brother can take the place of 1 initiate. Each model is armed with a bolt gun, bolt pistol, frag and crack grenades. And a sword brother here has got an extra tower. It's like the sergeant equivalent. Yep, okay. Okay, so that's all the usual war gear. A sword brother, which is the sergeant, may replace his bolt pistol, bolt gun and items with the sergeant equipment list. Any initiate can replace his bolt gun with a chain sword. 1 initiate may replace his bolt gun with an item from the special weapons list. And then 1 initiate may replace his bolt gun with an item from the heavy weapons, or power sword, power axe, power maul, power fist. Again, just no point. You take a power maul, for example, you give it to an initiate who has 1 attack. It's just not really worth it. Any neophyte may replace his bolt gun with an Astartes shotgun or a combat knife. Okay. So again, seems with troops, for Marines, their strength is just the numbers of them. They're not to pay out too many upgrades, especially for close combat. I just don't see, because the sergeants, they don't have enough. There's not enough attacks with them. 2 attacks, you'd be wasting your points if you spent out on power fists and things like that just for 2 attacks. Give a sergeant a power fist. He's got 2 attacks, going to need 4s to hit, so he's going to hit once, and it's going to cause D3 damage. It's just not really worth it, I don't think. So I would just rely upon the multiple attacks that you can get just with more bodies, more Marines being used. I think I'd do it that way. Power sword maybe, but yeah. But for shooting, the best way to use all of these, I think, is to bury heavy weapons, special weapons within these units and protect them that way, and then you get the most out of them. It protects those models from being destroyed. Okay, so that's troops done. We'll go on to elites section next. So the first one here is the Primaris Ancient. I think that's the one with the banner. Looks quite good. So movement 6, weapon skill, but it's just the usual stat line. But comes with 5 wounds, 4 attacks. 4 attacks is good, really good. 3 up save. Bolt rifle, bolt pistol, frag and crack grenades, and then the Astartes banner here. So the banner's not mentioned in the war gear. I think you don't pay for it, it just comes with the points cost of the model. Yeah, Primaris Ancient, 69 points. I think that's pretty much it. I'll just check here. The bolt rifle is 0, frag and crack grenades is fine. And then I can't see, it tells you have to pay for the banner. It's not listed in here, it's just part of who he is. So it's cheap, 70 points, virtual 69 points. Units within 6, add 1 to their leadership, it's not that major. In addition, roll d6 each time a chapter infantry model is destroyed. Before moving within 6 inches of any ancients, before moving the model's casualty. On 4+, that model musters 1 last surge of strength before succumbing to its wounds. You can either shoot with one of its weapons as if it were the shooting phase, or make a single attack as if it were the fight phase. Okay, so I honestly don't think I'd bother with that one. Not really. He could sort of pay for himself if you buried him in amongst a really good unit, or multiple good units that are armed with really good stuff. You know, when they're killed, they get to fight back with decent weapons, but don't really think he's worth that. Then you got your regular chapter Ancient here for regular Marines. It's just going to be the same. Yep, except you're dropping your wounds down to 4, attacks down to 3 here. That's kind of weird. Gets a 2 up save though, this one, and leadership 9. The Primaris Ancient gets leadership 8 and 3 up save. And it's a shame, he's got nice lot of attacks there, but there's no way you can equip him with anything particularly nasty in combat. This one though, the chapter Ancient, does come with a power sword. Same rules for the banner. So the chapter Ancient costs 72 points, so a couple of points more than the Primaris Ancient. Okay. Chapter Champion. He costs 60 points. Then I guess you have to pay for the power sword, which is 4 or 5 points. Here, 4 points, so 64 points. Nope. It comes with a power sword and a champion's blade. So, we'll just see how much that costs as well. Champion's blade is 0. Right, cool. Okay, so it's quite cheap actually. Interesting. Chapter Champion. Movement 6, weapon skill 2+. Nice. Usual stats here, but he's got 4 wounds, 4 attacks, nice healthy amount there. He's got a 2+ save as well. He's pretty cheap actually. Champion's Blade is, each time you attack with this weapon, you get additional attack. Come with the power sword as well. Now, what's interesting here, and I think you can play it this way, is you can say, right, I'll do 3 attacks out of 4 with the power sword, then I'm going to make 1 attack with the Champion's Blade, and then when you make that attack, then you can take your additional. Or it may not even work that way. It says each time the bearer fights, it can make an additional attack with this weapon. So you could do all of your attacks at the power sword because that's AP -3, and you could do 1 attack with the Champion's Blade, which is AP -2. So really, you get 5 attacks. It's good, pretty good for hacking stuff down. Not bad at all. And there's a little bonus here as well: honor or death. This model must make a heroic intervention if he's able to do so. In addition, you can re-roll any failed hit rolls for this model in the fight phase when targeting a character. Cool. Now, he's not armed with any kind of invuln save. So, you know, he's not amazing, but he's pretty cheap in points. So Chapter Champion's not bad. Then there's Honour Guard. James has these, the old lead ones, painted up very nicely. They're 21 points a time. Got 2 of them, just 42 points. So the usual stat line here, they come with 2 wounds though, 2 attacks as basic. Leadership 9, they do have a 2+ save. And they come with bolt gun, bolt pistol, power axe. So 5 points for that, so that makes us 50 points for the 2 of them. Cheap enough. The power axe is +1 strength and AP -2. They're not bad. Honour Guard, roll a d6 each time a friendly character loses a wound whilst they're within 3 inches of this unit. On a 2+, a model from this unit can intercept the hit. The character does not lose a wound. This unit suffers a mortal wound. Okay, that's not bad. And you've got the ability here to absorb some damage because these are 2 wounds at a time. So if you do intervene, take a mortal wound, the model will still stay alive with 1 wound remaining, so it's not too bad. Okay, next one is the Company Ancient. Usual stat line, 4 wounds though, 3 attacks, leadership 8 and a 3+ save. He's 63 points. Yep, I think that's all you pay, because it includes the banner. And this model may replace its bolt pistol with a bolt gun, or an item from pistols, combi weapons or melee weapons. Get the Astartes banner. It's the same rules. Okay, so that's him. Right, Apothecary next is 55 points. And it's all free stuff here. Bolt pistol, chainsaw, frag and crack grenades. Just check. The chainsword is 0, yeah. So cheap enough here as well. Usual stat line comes with 4 wounds though, 3 attacks, leadership 8 and a 3+ save. So regular Apothecary now comes with 4 wounds. So that Narfecium. At the end of any of your movement phases, the Apothecary can attempt to heal or revive a single model. Select a friendly chapter infantry or biker unit within 3 of the Apothecary. If the unit contains a wounded model, it immediately gains D3 lost wounds. That's really, really good. If the chosen unit contains no wounded models, but 1 or more of its models has been slain, roll a d6 and a 4+. Remember, you could use a stratagem to have a reroll there. The single slain model returns to the unit with 1 wound remaining. If the Apothecary fails to revive a model, he can do nothing else for the remainder of the turn. As he recovers the gene seed of the fallen warrior. A unit can only be the target of the Narfecium ability once in each turn. Alright. I think it's a really good roll. I've been using it with the Blood Angels. I think it's great fun, really fluffy. So, I'm pretty cheap here. Apocryphary's not too bad at all. But the Blood Angels want Apothecary. There's the Sanguinary Priest. He does have access to war gear. This one here is just stuck here. Can't add anything to him. You can just take a chainsword here. By the looks of it. Okay. So that's that one. Okay, so now we're on to the Company Champion next. 40 points, very cheap. Oh right, this is the one that comes with this shield. Okay. Cool, this one's not bad. Right, so bolt pistol, frag and crack grenades, mastercrafted power sword. I guess this is going to be quite expensive. 10 points, right, okay, so that makes him 50. 50 points. And for that, he does keep the, I'll have the 2+ weapon skill, which is good. He's got 4 wounds, only 3 attacks for him, but still not bad. And then he does come with the mastercrafted power sword. Strength use AP -3, but it deals out 2 damage at a time, which is really good. And then Honour or Death. When you're fighting, reroll hits when fighting characters in combat. And then Combat Shield, he does have that 5+ invuln save. Just there. Okay. So I think that's the one that comes with like the plastic Space Marine Command set. That champion is that one there. Okay, next, Company Veterans. So they're just like regular Marines. They just come with 2 attacks. unit is 1 veteran sergeant, 1 marine veteran, include up to 3 more of them. So you have unit of 5. Usual war gear, bolt, pistol, chainsaw, frag and crack grenades. Company veterans. There's 16 points a time, so you pay an extra 3 points to get access to the war gear and then just get that extra attack, pretty much. Veteran sergeant may replace his bolt, pistol, chainsaw with items from the sergeant equipment list. Any Space Marine veteran may replace their bolt pistol with a storm shield or an item from the melee weapons or pistol lists. Any Space Marine veteran may replace their chainsaw with a storm shield, bolt gun, or an item from the melee, pistol, combi weapons, or special weapons. Now, I just thought of a combination. See if you can do it. Just with the rules for 8th now. Any veteran may replace their bolt pistol with a storm shield. Okay, or items from the pistols. Right, okay. So this is interesting. 16 points. So I would try and take, see if we can do this. Storm shield is 5 points. Okay, so now you've got a 3+ invuln. Any problem is the wounds, but anyway, we'll just keep going here. Then, any Space Marine veteran may replace their chainsword with a storm shield, bolt gun, or any item from melee pistols. Yes, you can. So how about this? Maybe some of you do this already, but it'll be a new one for 8th edition. Pistols. So we've paid 16 on 21 points at the moment, including the shield. And then if I go to pistols, yes you can, right, plasma pistol. P, plasma pistol is 7, 21, 28 points each. What I'm thinking of here is the whole squad with storm shields and plasma pistols. It would look really cool. The great thing about it is the plasma pistols, you've got them in their regular shooting phase. You can walk around well protected by invuln save, and then firing out your plasma pistols would cause trouble. Then for Overwatch you'll get them, and then in combat on your turn you're protecting yourself with your shield, and then you're able to shoot back in combat with plasma pistols. Now in 8th edition. That would be a fascinating combination, that one. Yeah, that's not bad at all actually. It's company veterans with plasma pistols and storm shields. Just an idea. I just think you could make the models just look absolutely fantastic if you went for that. Okay. Right, command squad bodyguard rules here. Roll dice each time a friendly character loses a wound whilst within 3 inches of this unit. On 2+, a model from this squad can intercept the hit. The character does not lose a wound, but the unit suffers a mortal wound. Alright, so you wouldn't want to pay out too good for them if you're handing off mortal wounds onto them. Model armed with a storm shield does have the 3+ invuln save. It's just an idea there. Leave your comments there and see what you think of that combination. Just thought of that as we were going along. Next is servitors. Probably very, very cheap. Yeah, they're 2 points a time. Movement, weapon skill, ballistic skill 5+, strength toughness 3, 1 wound, 1 attack, leadership 6 and a 4-up save. Each model's armed with a servo arm. We've seen how good that is on the Tech Marine, so you could give them servo arms. I wonder if it's worth it on such a... The problem is he's on 5s to hit. It's 12 points, which... Each model was armed with a servo arm, so you sort of have to take it, so you end up paying out 14 points a model. He's only hitting on 5s. Yeah, okay. Oh no, what on earth? Each servo arm can only be used to make 1 attack. That's fine, it's only on 1 attack anyway. When attacking with this weapon, you must subtract 1 from the hit roll. So you're on 6s to get your hits. Oh, dear me. What a total waste of points. They're dreadful. No, servitors are useless. Up to 2 servitors and replace the servo arm with heavy bolter, plasma cannon or multi-melter. If you did go for those, you're on 5s to hit. And then if they're heavy weapons, you move, you're on 6s. Mind lock. Servitors improve both their, here we go, both their weapon skill and ballistic skill to a 4+, and their leadership to 9, whilst they're within 6 inches of any tank marines. Right, that's better-ish, not too bad, but still not that great. I mean, even at 4+, you know, you move, you're going to have 5s to hit those heavy weapons, and in combat with the servo arm, you're going to get 1 attack needing a 5. So it is terrible. So servitors are useless. You can't even take them as cannon fodder, like really cheap. You have to take the servo arm, and it forces you to take them at 14 points a time. So I don't think that's worth that. Yeah, and you can't even control the amount of models. You know, it's 4 of them. That's it. You can't add or take away. I was going to say you take a big mob of 10 of them, stick a chaplain in there and re-roll your hits. Would be a good way to use them, but can't even do that. So. Primaris Apothecary, just expecting just a sort of an upgraded regular Apothecary. 68 points, just get the 5 wounds, 3 attacks, leadership 8. It comes with the Absolver Bolt Pistol, which we've seen, strength 5 AP -1, range 16. Pistol, we can obviously use it in combat, so that's pretty nasty. Or the Reductor Pistol, which is 3-inch range against pistol 1, strength 4, AP -3, and then 2 points of damage. Does it come with both? Yeah, it does come with both. That's weird. It comes with 2 pistols. Interesting. And frag and crack grenades. Narfecium, same rules as we saw back there. So that is the Primaris Apothecary. Ah, right, Reavers. Got a box of these recently. I think they're pretty good. They look fantastic. Something out of Call of Duty, but they look amazing, and I think they're probably quite good in the rules. Okay, so we're very interested to take a look at these. So Reavers cost 18 points a time. Okay, for that you get movement 6, weapon skill, ballistic skill 3+, strength and toughness 4. Do you get the 2 wounds on them? It's nice and durable. Unit of 10. There's 20 wounds for the opponent to try and get through. It is a lot. Do you get the standard 2 attacks there for Primaris? Leadership 7 and 3 up safe, so they're not scouts. They're still keeping decent power armor there as well. The Reaver Sergeant just gets the extra attack and leadership. So this unit contains 1 Reaver, Sergeant, and 4 Reavers. And take an extra 5. So you can take units of 10. Each model is armed with a bolt carbine. A heavy bolt pistol. Oh, they've got both. Frag and crack grenades and shock grenades as well. So they're pretty well armed. So shock grenades. It's down here. 6-inch range. Grenade D3. This weapon does not inflict any damage. If an enemy infantry unit is hit by shock grenades, you've got D3 shots. There's a fair chance you're going to hit them. It is stunned. It is stunned till the end of the turn. It cannot fire Overwatch. Cool. And your opponent must subtract 1 from any hit rolls made for that unit. Yeah, this sort of fits the theme. If I did take a unit of these, I would use them in this kind of, which is the whole fluff behind these is here. In a burst of light and thunder, Reavers spring their attack nearby enemies, rear and shock in the brief moments before their death. Yeah, it's this kind of surprise attack, infiltrators, scout type unit here. I suppose it is scouts for the Primaris Marines. So shock grenades there. I'd use them. I think I'd take a unit of 10, and then I'd have them either break down into little squads or one big squad, and they just turn up and they just harass the opponent. So for example, you could charge them into a vehicle. The vehicle then, if it's a regular tank, it can't shoot back, and it detracts away from your opponent's attempt to try and shoot up the rest of your army. That kind of harassment. If they aren't dealt with, if your opponent ignores them, they're going to continue to cause trouble. If your opponent then does try and deal with them, you know, they're 2 wounds each. You've just got to try and divert firepower and give these attention, and it can just detract away or distract the opponent away from fighting against the rest of your army. So I like the idea of using them that way. So they're disposable, you know, they'll die, probably, but they'll have a valuable tactical use of harassing the opponent's force. So that's what that shock grenades does. You know, it stops them from firing Overwatch and subtracts 1 from their hit rolls as well. Great. I take it shock grenades 3. I wonder. Yep, so you don't pay for them. Brilliant. I think it's well worth 18 points, these guys. Really like Reavers, and they look incredible. They're really nice. Now, let's see what you get. Now, they come with a bolt carbine. You may have to pay for that. No, you don't. 0 again. So, you know, squad of 10, a flat 180 points at the moment. They do come with crack grenades and frag grenades. So, very versatile. I really think I would go for. These are really well armed here. I think I really would go for splitting them down into 2 combat squads. So each got an attempt at throwing a grenade per squad. Then now, so the bolt carbine is free. A heavy bolt pistol. I wonder if this is free as well. It is. God, you get a lot of war gear here. It's not only have they got a decent shooting weapon, but they got decent sidearm as well. The heavy bolt pistol is pistol 1, range 12, strength 4, AP -1, and we get to use these in combat. So brilliant. So you imagine they're firing their main weapon, and then they charge into combat and they pull out their pistol from their holster and then use it in close quarters. So brilliant fluff behind these. But the bolt carbine's range 24. It's assault 2, so you're going to get those 2 shots no matter what range you're at, which is brilliant. Strength 4. There's no AP minus. Still, you can hit the opponent with a lot of hits. You know, that's 20 shots for that unit. There, and then 1 point of damage. Now, just going to check the main rulebook here. Yeah, just here. Assault. A model armed with an assault weapon can fire it even if it advanced that turn. If it does so, you must subtract 1 from any hit rolls. So, like it says here, in a burst of light and thunder, they spring their attack. So these can move quickly. You can move 6 with these, plus D6, and then still shoot at -1 with these 24-inch range weapons. So these are pretty good. If you could use these really well in a game over the bolt carbines. Now, all models in the unit may replace their bolt carbine with a combat knife. I don't think that's going to cost you any points to do that. Pretty sure, no, it's 0. The advantage there. So it is all models. The whole squad has to do it. You can't go half and half or any combination. Combat knife, you get an additional attack. So they'll get 3 attacks each. Unit 10 is 30 attacks. Which are a lot of attacks. Remember, these are 2 wounds at a time, so they'll absorb a fair bit of damage. So you could go for that kind of option. Now, you can also, there is combat squads just there. You get terror troops, special rule. Enemy units must subtract 1 from their leadership if they're within 3 inches of Reaver squads. Yes, you could plough into some light infantry, you could massacre half of them, force a leadership test, and then it's a further -1 on their results. That all helps. So the ways of infiltrating them here is 2 ways. Grapple launchers. You'll see some of them sculpted with these things, grapples that fire out. When models with grapple launchers move, do not count any vertical distance they move against the total they can move that turn. For example, moving vertically is free for these models. In addition, during deployment, you can set up this unit if it is equipped with grapple launchers behind enemy lines instead of placing it on the battlefield. At the end of any of your movement phases, this unit can join the battle. Set it up anywhere within 6 inches of a battlefield edge of your choice, just any edge, or 9 inches away from enemy models. So great. Grapple launchers. Now, if I remember rightly, yeah, I've seen this before. So grav, shoot, and grapple launch, they're both 2 points each. It's going to make them 20 points a model. So it's 200 points for a unit of 10. You probably are going to want to take those to give them that infiltrating ability. The other is grav shoots, which is just a usual deep strike. You've got to set up anywhere you want, as long as it's more than 9 inches away. Advantage of that one is you can turn up anywhere you want. This one restricts you to battlefield edges. The advantage of that one is that you can go up your levels very quickly. You know, this enemy's got scouts right at the very top of a building. You can just straight up with those and get them quicker. Now you can move over stuff. There is that speed associated with them. You know, I like a lot of combinations. It's a tough choice. If you know some Tactica for those, or had some success with them in a certain combination, then by all means leave that in the feedback. But do rate that unit. So very much looking forward to, if I do Primaris Marines, what I'm planning to do them, they will feature for sure. Alright, so next is the Aggressors. I have got a box of these. There's a certain combination I think I'll go for, but we'll have a look at them here. So, Aggressors cost 25 points each. You've got to add your war gear on top, so they are going to be expensive, I would imagine, when we add everything on here. But you get movement 5, so they're an inch slower. Weapon skill, ballistic skill 3 plus strength 4. They are toughness 5. They do come with 2 wounds and 2 attacks as well. 3 up save. Sergeant just gets extra attack, extra leadership. Unit of 3 of them, including the sergeant. You can take another 3 of them. Each model is armed with bolt storm gauntlets and a frag storm grenade launcher. Right. So, bolt storm gauntlets is 25 points. So immediately you can double the cost of these. 150 points right at the moment for a squad of 3, which is still pretty good. Frag storm grenade launcher is just 4 points. Alright, so about 162 points. I don't think it's bad. Bit vulnerable though. Opponent could cut them down pretty quick. You know, there's just 6 wounds there between the squad. Yeah, they could be cut down pretty quickly. Okay, let's see what you get. I feel they're a bit vulnerable. They are a bit vulnerable. Okay, toughness 5 will help them out a bit though. So auto bolt storm gauntlets shooting is now storm gauntlets. Yes, it's not a pair. That is the upgrade. So it's range 18, assault 6, strength 4, AP minus nothing, and then 1 point of damage. So not bad. You can chuck out 18 shots. Auto bolt storm. Yeah, okay. Then we'll go to auto bolt storm melee. It's times 2 strength, so it's strength 8, AP minus 3, D3 points of damage. So it's power fists basically. So it's power fists and all the shooting all rolled into one with them. So, okay. Now, all models in the unit may replace their auto bolt storm gauntlets and frag storm grenade launcher with flame storm gauntlets. Now, let's just check this. Frag storm grenade launcher is range 18, assault D6, and then strength 4. Okay, so you get an extra 3d6 shots with those. These are all assault weapons here, by the way, so you can go for your move 5 and then advance move and then still shoot with them, which is pretty good. Okay, now do you get combat squad, so you can break your unit 6 down to unit 3, or 2 units of 3. Firestorm. Models in this unit can fire twice if they remain stationary during their turn, including when firing Overwatch. So that's a good one to remember. And relentless advance. Models in this unit do not suffer any penalty to their hit rolls for advancing and firing. Right, so brilliant. So there's that speed there for those, and a big bonus if you remain still. So there's benefits either way for these. Now it's interesting to see what do you get for the Flame Storm gauntlets. Yeah, okay. Flame Storm gauntlets. 18 points a time. Cheaper, which is interesting. A lot cheaper, not too bad. Now, that's the option I'm tempted to go for. It's a unit you're going to have to get close. The best range you're going to get is 18, which is pretty close. Now, they're not amazing. No, they are good in combat because they've got the power fists. But if they are in danger of being charged by something that's going to cut them down, they've got amazing protection if you take the flame option. Because each flame storm gauntlet for shooting is range 8, but it's assault 2d6 each model. So the whole unit's going to get 2d6 shots each. That's 6d6. And they're auto hits on the target. So if you're charged, unit of Howling Banshees comes in, it's going to cut them down, 10 of them charge in, you're going to hit them with 6d6 flamer hits that's going to automatically hit them, wound them on 3+, and possibly wipe out the whole squad. Easily wipe out the whole squad. So maybe Handbatch is not the best example, but a unit of some kind charging in, that kind of damage coming through. So very, very good indeed. And then if they do charge themselves, then you've got the Power Fist ability there as well to cause lots of trouble. Now, no problem with these at all. These are a decent unit. Now, it does say here, all models in the unit may replace their auto bolt storm gauntlets and the frag storm grenade launchers. You do lose out a fair bit of shooting there. Would have been good to keep the frag storm grenade launcher, but you don't. So it's the flame storm gauntlets. The only worries for such close range shooting is the danger of having to move slowly, plodding along, trying to get into battle. But the advantage of these is the ability to advance at no penalties. Their movement really is 5. So their movement really is 5 plus d6, which is on average about 8. So they're quite quick, actually. And then their shooting's pretty good. And then you can march them into danger, which is what you're going to want to do. And then if they do get charged, they've got fantastic protection. And then if they move to sit there and they're charged, they're going to get to fire twice, including Overwatch. So pretty good. You know, with Bolt Storm, it's a difficult choice. With Bolt Storm, if you remain stationary, you're going to get 36 shots plus 66 shots if you remain stationary. It's totally ridiculous, actually. Sorry, but that's madness. That is totally mad. So either combination, yeah. So again, you could do 2 units of them. They're not too bad at all. So aggressive squad is pretty good. Right, so then you've got you're onto regular Terminators now. Regular Terminator now costs 26 points. So 130 points for 5, I believe. Movement 5 for these, with skill better, skill 3+. Just the same stat lines have always been, except they do come with 2 wounds now. It's a bit more durability for them, 2 up save. They keep their 5+ invuln save, the Crux Terminatus. The squad of 5, it includes the Sergeant with Power Stormbolter, and then each Terminator is under a Stormbolter and Power Fist. So we know the rules for those. For every 5 models in the unit, you can go up to a unit of 10 by the way. For every 5 models in the unit, 1 Terminator replaces Stormbolter with a weapon from their Terminator heavy weapons list. Any Terminator replaces his Power Fist with a Chain Fist, and the unit may take a teleport to Wahammer. So if you take the Chain Fist, I'm just going to check here. You are going to end up paying a fair bit for these. Regular Terminator's 26 points. You're then got to take the Stormbolter, which you do have to pay for. 2 points. Then the Power Fist is 12, you have to add that on as well. So you're pushing on for about 40 points each, is roughly what they were. Yeah, okay, so then to take a Chain Fist is 22 points. That's a fair amount more for that. Chain Fist will be ×2 strength, AP -4 and 2 points of damage. I would just may as well go for Power Fist there for the cheapness of them. 22 points and 12 points. It's a big difference. Yeah, no, I wouldn't bother with the Chain Fist. I would just stick with Power Fist for them. No problem at all. There's more potential damage there with the Power Fist than there is with the Chain Fist. Nope, okay. So, Terminator heavy weapons. Here. The Assault Cannon. It's a decent weapon. Very good weapon indeed. And for that, you get heavy 6, range 24, strength 6, AP -1. So that's pretty good. It is good. No, it is a decent weapon. And it costs 21 points. Not bad. Not bad at all. No complaints about that. So yeah, we'll go for the assault gun, which is the configuration I have for my Imperial Fist Terminators already. Cyclone Missile Launcher and Storm Bolter. So the rules for it is here. So you've got your frag option, range 36, heavy 2d3, it's interesting. Strength 4, AP -0, 1 point damage. We've got the crack shot, heavy 2, strength 8, AP -2, and d6 points damage. That's pretty nice. It's potential that it causes 2d6 damage. Heavy 2. God. No problem at all. That's pretty good. Cyclone Missile Launcher. 50 points. Ouch. Do pay for it though. God, that's a lot of points. You do well, just well. Maybe taking a squad of 10 with 2 assault cannons would be good. Anyway, it's a decent weapon, but it is 50 points, it is a lot. Okay, so a teleport Homer is 0, so you get that for free, and that means they can just do their deep striking. No, that's not. Some special rules on top of that actually. So we've covered that. So combat squads you can do. Teleport strike. That's just the usual deep strike, more than 9 inches away from the opponent. Teleport Homer. If this unit has a teleport Homer, place it anywhere on your deployment zone when your army deploys. If any model is ever within 9 inches of the teleport Homer, it is deactivated and removed from the battlefield. So you've got to keep it safe. Whilst there are any friendly chapter teleport Homers on the battlefield, this unit can perform an emergency teleport instead of moving in its movement phase. At the end of the movement phase, remove this unit and then set it up with all its models within 6 inches of a friendly chapter teleport Homer. That teleport Homer is then removed from the battlefield. Right, so that plastic teleport Homer that you get, you now finally have a use for it. You can actually use the model on the battlefield there. And it's pretty cool actually. Yep, so pretty good rules available for that as well. I'll have to paint one up for my Imperial Fists. Okay. So, that's that one. Terminator Assault Squad next, which is what I have for my Blood Angels. So usual stat line. Then it says here, they come with Lightning Claws as standard. We've seen the Lightning Claw, it's not that amazing really. 2 of them you do get an extra attack, but I don't really rate it. It's not bad, it can cut through power armor and things, knocks it down to 5 up saves. You know, it's -2 here, so it's not too bad. And you do get to reroll wounds as well, so no, it's not too bad. A pair of them's pretty good, and a unit with lots of them, like a squad of 5, all with Lightning Claws, is suddenly quite good. Not too bad. The Thunderhammer we've seen. I think it's pretty good. Just the reliability to hit is a problem. So something like a Chaplain nearby is helpful, getting them to reroll their misses when they try and hit. Because you're on -1 to hit there from the hit roll, I mean you'd be on 4s to hit just 2 attacks. The rules are all the same. If you take the Storm Shield, it's 3 up save, 3 up invuln save, and then we'll just see how much they cost, just to give you an idea. So at usual 26 points, then your Storm Shield for a non-character model is just 5 points, which is great, and then the Thunder Hammer for other models is 16, so not too bad, I don't think, for them. Okay, so that's your Terminator Assault Squad covered. Which I think that whichever combination you go for, either Lightning Claws or Thunder Hammers, you need a Chaplain. That is the prescription for them. You need a Chaplain, and then that makes the Terminators semi as good as they used to be. Without the Chaplain, they're just not going to. They're going to perform half as well, basically. So you'll see that with my Blood Angels soon. I plan to bring the Chaplain back and put him in with the Terminators just to help them out a fair amount. Plus you've got a character there who can fight pretty good himself as well. Okay, Cataphracti Terminators. Very slow at the movement 4. We've seen this with the Cataphracti models from earlier on the Captain. 2 wounds, 2 attacks, all the usual here, 2 up save. I think their inven's going to be 4+, but you must halve the result of the dice rolled when determining how far this model advances, so very, very slow. Very, very slow with these. So you're going to need a decent mode of delivering them. You've got your teleport option for those, or they're going to need to go in some kind of transport. If they wander around the battlefield, they are so slow. Very, very slow indeed. All the usual rules for these. They come with combi bolters, which is rapid fire 2, so you're going to get 4 shots at range 12. So nice amount of firepower from them. The grenade harness is assault D6, strength 4 AP. It says AP 1. Is that AP -1? I take it that's what it is. And then 1 damage. Heavy flame is an option just there. So for every 5 models, let's just check the grenade harness first. 8 points, not too expensive. For every 5 models in the unit, 1 Terminator may replace his combi bolter with a heavy flamer. Any model may replace his combi bolter with a lightning claw. Any Cataphracti Terminator may replace his power fist with a chain fist or lightning claw. The Cataphracti Sergeant may replace his power sword with a chain fist, power fist or lightning claw. And then the Sergeant may take a grenade harness. Okay. So I just say they seem okay. I'm not so keen on the models at all, to be honest. But if you are going to take them, really consider how you're going to move them around the table, because they are very, very slow indeed. And I'd rather go for Thunderhammer Terminators. I think at the moment it's my favourite option. Thunderhammer Terminators, and then they need a chaplain to help them out. Next one's a Tartarus Terminator squad. Usual stats for them. Let's just get a bit of costing here. A 30 points model for the Cataphracti. Tartarus is 31 points, you pay an extra point. A lot of options available for these. Okay, so it's a squad of 5 with the Sergeant. The Sergeant is armed with combi bolter and power sword. The regular Terminator is armed with combi bolter and power fist. Okay, for every 5 models, one model may replace his combi bolter with a heavy flamer or a Reaper autocannon. Yeah. Reaper autocannons range 36, heavy 4, strength 7, AP -1, and 1 point of damage. Not bad. I wonder how expensive it is. £18 points. It's okay. Only 1 point of damage though, not that impressive. Any Tartarus Terminator replaces combi bolter and power fist with 2 lightning claws. The Sergeant may do the same. Any Tartarus Terminator replaces power fist with a chain fist. The Sergeant may replace with a chain fist or a power fist. Okay. The Tartarus Sergeant may replace his combi bolter with a plasma blaster or a Volkite charger. And then every 5 models, 1 model may take a grenade harness. Okay, so plasma blaster is just like a plasma gun, but it's assault 2 and it's range 18. You can go supercharge, still it's assault 2, range 18, strength 8, AP -3 and 2 points of damage. If you roll 1 for supercharge, the bear is slain. Plasma blaster, 17 points. Okay. Then a Volkite charger. It's heavy 2, range 15, strength 5, no minus on the AP and 2 points of damage. Pretty lame, that one. It's not that great. Don't think it's that good. Volkite charger. Ugh, not really. and then you've got to pay for it here. Just around here. 6 points. That's cheap enough, but not that great. Yeah, and you get the 5+ invuln save here. Combat squads and teleport strike. No, so not particularly blown away by those either, I'm afraid to say. I do like the Primaris stuff at the moment. No, it's all very nice indeed. Right, Vanguard Veterans next for elites. So, they're just a usual Marine with the 2 attacks, pretty much as they were. So I'm just going to go straight to, here we go. The entire unit may take jump packs here if you go for that. Now let's just find out. Vanguard Veterans 16 points, jump packs is 18 points. You pay an extra 2 points. Basically you pay an extra 3 points on top of a normal Marine to get your extra attack. And that is about it. Okay, it always seems it's the same way in 7th. You pay out a fair bit to get them, and then you have to start paying out a lot to give them all these upgrades to make them nasty, and then they can just get blown away so quick. So yeah, they're vulnerable to that. Best way perhaps to use them is to give something really good to the sergeant. If you can get the best weapon you give to your sergeant, a hammer would be pretty cool because he gets 3 attacks. That's just about worth doing. Maybe give him a storm shield, but then probably won't bother giving him a storm shield because usually he's going to be the last one to die, so you wouldn't be using your storm shield roll until right to the very end. So probably just give him a thunderhammer and that's it, and then just maybe 1 or 2 others with something else, another thunderhammer, a power fist, power swords, lightning claws, no problem, and then remember to take a good number of them with just bolt pistol chainsword. They're the ones that absorb they're the ones you take off first and absorb the damage. If you're going to go for it, that's the way I'd do it. Squad of 5 is probably too small. Squad of 8 is alright. Squad of 10, you get your combat squad ability if you want to split them down. They're not bad. But if you give each of them something, the points are going to go right up. You want to have some regular, the ones that look regular here with bolt pistol chainsword, they actually look really nice. So you paint up. If I was going to do unit 10, I give decent thunderhammer to the sergeant, or a relic blade. Yeah, relic blade's cool. How much does that cost? The relic blade's not bad. It's 21 points, but if you bear it in the squad with the sergeant, it's not too bad at all. Relic blades, a couple of thunderhammers. Wouldn't bother with the storm shield because the damage is going to be absorbed not on him, but on the spare marine. So maybe go for a relic blade, double thunderhammer, and then the other 7 just bolt pistol chainsword. Keep the cost down, and they're the ones that absorb the damage. And then bolt pistol chainsword, that's the ability to deal with hordes there because you get your extra attack and your pistols in combat and so on. You could give, like they've done here, you could give the sergeant a nasty pistol because he's going to get reached last, so you can fire away with that pistol and not worry about dying as quick as the others. You could give him a pretty good pistol of some kind. Plasma pistol, perhaps, would be pretty good. So that's just some ideas for those. The veteran sergeant replaces bolt pistol and chainsaw with 2 items from the following lists: a storm shield, a relic blade, or a melee and pistol. Now, just want to check to see if the eviscerator is around. Can't see it. Okay, so it's not on the options there. May come up here in just a moment. Any Space Marine veteran may replace his bolt pistol chainsaw with a storm shield and an item from the pistols and melee weapons, or with 2 items from the pistol melee weapons. Okay, one model may take melter bombs. I probably would take that. Oh yeah, take a melter bomb. The entire squad may take jump packs. We've covered that. Right, so one model may take a melter bomb. You're not forced to pay out melter bombs. The entire squad, and then I give it to the sergeant, obviously. Yes, if he's not armed with a decent pistol. If he is armed with a decent pistol, give the melter bombs to the second to last guy to die. Probably the one with the Thunderhammer, and then that's a decent weapon. Only range 4. How much does it cost to take that? 5 points. Yeah, definitely worth doing that. Because you can chuck the grenade at one target and charge something else. So, no, not bad. Combat squads, jump pack assault, just the usual for those. Okay. So yeah, that's the combo I go for with them. Right, so Stern Guard veterans next. I do have a squad of 10 for these, my Blood Angels actually. They sort of come in and out of the army. They're not utterly amazing. I found in 7th at least, but they weren't terrible. Sort of not really sure what to do with them. They're usually quite expensive. I'll have a look and see what they cost here. So a Stern Guard veteran's 16 points. So 3 more points than a regular Marine. For that you're going to get extra attack. Then they come with the special issue bolt gun. I'm guessing you have to pay for this. It will be quite expensive if you do. Yeah, another 2 points on top of that. So 18 points to have that. It's range 30 though, so they've increased the range. Rapid fire ones, you do get the extra 2 shots when you get to within 15. Strength 4, it is AP -2, which is pretty devastating actually for a weapon the size of a bolter. Now it's just the usual here, the veteran sergeant, who does come with 3 attacks here, so you could give him something pretty good. Can take weapons from the sergeant equipment list. The veteran sergeant may replace his bolt pistol from weapons from the sergeant equipment list. Up to 2 Marines may take heavy flamers or items from special weapons, heavy weapons or combi weapons. And then the veteran, any Space Marine veteran may replace his special issue bolt gun with a weapon from the combi weapons. Seems a shame to replace out the actual weapon they specialise in, but you could go for combi weapons. Quite effective for them. And then just combat squads, and that's it. So again, they are quite expensive, but the special issue bolt guns are pretty cool, and they're pretty good. Very straightforward. Now you used to choose different types of ammunition, but now it's just AP -2 and that's it. Next then is Dreadnoughts. So it's a single model armed with an assault cannon, storm bolter and Dreadnought combat weapon. They've improved and then not as good. The way they've improved is loads of wounds, pretty durable. So 8 wounds for this guy, 3 up save. So that's pretty good. Ability to split fire now, they can fire weapons at different targets, fire all their weapons at one target, charge a different one, that kind of thing. Disadvantage for Dreadnoughts now is the attacks and the damage that their weapons can do. Used to be a Dreadnought, well equipped for melee, charging into a vehicle could just destroy it, usually in 7th edition, no problem. But now, you're probably not going to destroy a vehicle when you charge in, so it does put them a bit of a disadvantage. But anyway, still pretty good though. I don't think they're too bad in 8th edition. Dreadnought starts at 70 points. You add your weapons on top. So let's go for the basic one here. You give them an assault cannon. Is 21, so you're 91 points. Storm bolters 93 points in total. Pay 2 points for that, and then a Dreadnought close combat weapon. I wonder if you get that for nothing. Dreadnought close combat weapon. Dreadnought close combat weapon ironclad. Dreadnought close combat weapon other models is 40 points. Right, so 133 points. So not too bad in points cost. Yeah, you could get a pretty good one for cheap cost. So that's just a regular assault cannon. The Dreadnought close combat weapon, we'll just check that. It's melee, it's times 2 strength, so it's going to be on a strength of 12, which is really good. -3 on the AP, which is good, and then it's a straight 3 points of damage, which is nice and reliable, so it's not too bad. The close combat weapon. And then the other weapons we've all seen. This model may replace its assault cannon with an item from the Dreadnought heavy weapons. Let's see what you can go for here. It's probably going to be the same as it used to. Dreadnought heavy weapons, yeah. So assault cannon, which is what we've already covered. You can also take a heavy plasma cannon. Interesting. And then a multi-melter and then a twin las cannon. So let's check out this heavy plasma cannon. Yeah. Which is just over the page. Heavy plasma cannon. So it's D3 shot, strength 7 AP -3, 1 point damage. Or supercharge is the same, but it's strength 8 AP -3 and 2 points damage. If you roll a 1, it's a mortal wound. Which is affordable to do on a Dreadnought. You know, you lose a wound or 2. It's not so bad. So that's that. Still could just be a one-shot weapon though if you roll badly on the D3 there. Costs of these weapons. A heavy plasma cannon is 30 points as opposed to 21 for the assault cannon. Let's just look up twin las cannon. It's 50 points, but it's 2 shots. It's a deadly weapon now. The twin las cannon is pretty deadly. And then the other option is the multi-melter, and that will cost 27 points. Okay. I'll tell you what a deadly combination would be, and that is a double twin las cannon. That'd be a tank destroyer. Don't think you can do it though. No. This model may replace its Dreadnought close combat weapon and Stormbolter with a missile launcher. That's the closest you're going to get. Missile launcher is not too bad. You've got your strength 8 AP -2 and D6 damage. So still a semi-tank destroyer there. Not bad. And this model may replace its Stormbolter with a heavy flamer. Now, the good thing about the Dreadnought is because its wounds is 8, it doesn't break into a profile. So it's going to fire its regular ballistic skill all the way through to the very last wound. So that puts Dreadnought, I think, at a pretty good advantage. It is toughness 7, so it's tough as a regular main battle tank. And 8 wounds is not bad at all, so Dreadnought's not too bad. Missile launcher costs, it's 25, it's quite cheap. So about 140 odd points for the twin las cannon and missile launcher option, which might be tempting. Depends what style you're playing with your army. You can go all shooting if you want it as sort of that kind of support, or you can compromise. You can go half shooting, half combat, or you can gear it more towards combat. So quite flexible the way you can kit the Dreadnought out to help you out. If you've got a spare slot, you say you've got a spare 150 points in your army, you're not sure. Your army's formed up, and then you think, right, I'm missing in a certain area. You can kit out a Dreadnought to fulfill that, and I think it should work out quite well. Just seems that a drop pod now is pretty expensive, so the way I'd use Dreadnoughts is just have them deployed on the table, and then to make them effective, give them long range weaponry so that immediately from turn 1 onwards they've just got something to do straight away to soften up the opponent. Yeah, and they take a fair bit of damage to bring them down, and if they do take damage, they're still just going to keep firing that regular ballistic skill, which is really good. So that's the regular Dreadnought here. We'll see how effective the Ironclad is next. So Ironclad is 80 points, just paying an extra 10. Not too bad. Oh boy, this is it's all the same stats, but it's toughness 8, just to cover those stats, by the way. On the Dreadnought, it's movement 6, weapon skill, ballistic skill 3 plus, strength 6, toughness 7, 8 wounds, 4 attacks, which isn't too bad, and then leadership 8 and 3 up save. And then with the Ironclad, you're just going to get extra toughness, actually, of toughness 8. which is very good. So it's equipped with a seismic hammer. So we'll take a look at that. It's 48 points you can add on, so you're looking at about 130 points already. Then you've got to take a melter gun, which I believe is about 17. Then you've got to take the dreadnought combat weapon as well. Now it says here dreadnought combat weapon ironclad is 0, so don't pay up for that. So the ironclad, that keeps the cost down. It's not too bad actually. So we know what the combat weapon does. Cool. It's not bad actually. Dreadnought combat weapon, ×2 strength, AP -3, 3 points damage. The seismic hammer is ×2 strength, AP -4 and 5 points of damage. That's incredibly good. It is -1 to hit. So you're going to get like 2 hits on average with 4 attacks. But if you get those 2 hits, you're going to knock out, that would be 10 points of damage. That's pretty deadly actually. So that seismic hammer's nasty. Cool. Okay, so your other options. This model may replace its seismic hammer with a dreadnought chain fist. Dreadnought chain fist. It's 46 points. And that is ×2 strength, AP -4, 4 points of damage. Again, pretty deadly weapon. There's no -2 hit with that one. The dreadnought chain fist isn't bad, it's there. This model may replace its dreadnought combat weapon and storm bolter with a hurricane bolter. The rules here is rapid fire 6, it's be 12 shots within 12 inches, strength 4 AP -0, and then 1 point of damage. It's quite poorly. I'd go for the combat, I reckon. Definitely. Hurricane bolters cost 4 points. Just check how it's worded here. A hurricane bolter, yeah, so 4 points. Very cheap, that. Very, very cheap. This model may replace its storm bolter with a heavy flamer. That may well be an option. This model may replace its melter gun with a heavy flamer. You could go double heavy flamer, I think, potentially. This model may take up to 2 hunter killer missiles. That's definitely worth doing, because hunter killer is very cheap, 6 points a time. And the hunter killer, which I'm a big fan of now, it's great that it's worth taking those. Let's see if it's here, yeah. Range 48, brilliant range, heavy one. Strength 8, AP -2 and D6 points of damage. It's one use only, but fantastic. Real deadly weapon, that. And cheap. Yeah. There's some rules here. Okay. This one may take ironclad assault launchers. Yeah, I can't find assault launchers here, ironclad assault launchers. Okay, we'll see what it says here. If this model is equipped with ironclad assault launchers and finishes a charge move within an inch of an enemy unit, roll D6. On a 4+, the unit suffers D3 mortal wounds. Okay, that's pretty nasty as well. Not bad. 10 smoke launchers is there. If you activate those once per game, instead of shooting any weapons in the shooting phase, this model can use its smoke launchers till your next shooting phase. Your opponent is on -1 on hit rolls for them. Okay, so I think the ironclad is pretty good. There's a rule here, sorry, Rekka, you can reroll hit rolls of 1 for this model when it fights if it is equipped with 2 melee weapons. Yeah, so it is worth doing the 2 melee weapons, I reckon. And you can still have some shooting. You've got the hunter killers on top, and then you've also got underneath the combat weapons, you can take your melters and flamers, storm bolters and so on. So I rate the ironclad. Yeah, no, that's a decent dreadnought, that one. Definitely, and a nice combination of combat weapons that cause a lot of trouble. Yeah, you'd maybe take one expensive, brilliant close combat weapon like the seismic hammer, and then take the cheapest other option, because you're probably going to use all your attacks with seismic hammer, for example, and then not use the other weapon anyway in combat, and then you can save some points that way, because you want the two, so you can get the reroll ones. You roll dreaded ones, you actually get to reroll them, which is really helpful. Okay. So then we go to Venerable Dreadnought here. Is 90 points for him. Oh boy, yeah, he's pretty good. That's really helpful. The weapon skill and ballistic skill 2+. I mean, that makes such a difference. It really does. Strength 6, toughness 7, 8 wounds, 4 attacks. These are 8 and a 3-up save. So it's armed with an assault cannon, but it's going to be 2s to hit, Stormbolter and Dreadnought close combat weapons. So charging in combat is going to need 2s to hit. Makes a massive difference. It really does. So let's see what you can take here. This model may replace its assault cannon with Dreadnought heavy weapons list. So twin las cannon, yeah, like as modelled here. Yeah, pretty good. Pretty good. It's well worth the points, I reckon, to have that. Yeah, I'll go twin las cannon. Yeah, and even have does a captain effect? I think he does with the reroll ones. You have a captain nearby on 2s to hit, 2 shots in 2s to hit, rerolling 1s. It's exceptionally reliable. Firepower. And then you have a stratagem on standby, you get your 2 hits, you roll your wounds, 1 wound goes through perhaps, use your stratagem, get the other wound, and all of a sudden 2d6 damage coming through against your target. For not too bad in points. Let's see what else you can do. The Dreadnought may replace its Dreadnought combat weapon with Stormbolter and a missile launcher, so you could go for that 3rd shot coming through. This model may replace its Stormbolter with a heavy flamer. That's an idea as well. So, unyielding ancient, roll a d6 each time this model loses a wound. On a 6, the damage is ignored and the wound is not lost. Right, so a bit more durability for him. He's got smoke launchers and explodes. Okay, yeah, no, I like the Dreadnoughts. Here for Space Marines, they're lovely models, but these two, I can't see any problem. No problem at all. But if they're wandering around the battlefield, which seems to be the way to use them, just with the drop pods being, it's not really, it's quite an expensive way to do things. I'd have them with long range weaponry so they can get on with stuff straight away. Twin las cannon on him, definitely a good idea. I'd maybe keep that combination there, I think would work well. Yeah, and this one, seismic hammer is the main weapon, and then the regular Dreadnought combat weapon, I reckon, something like that. Okay, then we've got the Contemptor Dreadnought, and yes, of course, we've got the brand new Redemptor as well. So, loads of Dreadnought options now. So Contemptor Dreadnought, not a big fan of the sculpting on this one, just the style, just not so keen on the style of the Horus Heresy vehicles and a lot of the miniatures, sad to say, so we're quite happy staying with regular 40k. But Contemptor Dreadnought costs 98 points. Now he then goes into this bracket here. He's 10 wounds, so he drops into this bracket. I reckon that's a slight disadvantage for him. Strength 7, toughness 7. He has 10 wounds, 4 attacks, and then he has weapon skill, ballistic skill 2+. And then the next bracket, 3 to 5 wounds remaining, he drops to 3+, and then 1 to 2 is 4+. That's not so bad, because he starts off on 2+. It's actually not so bad, so it's not too bad. The Contemptor Dreadnought is a single model armed with multi-melter, a Combi Bolter, Dreadnought close combat weapon. Okay, the model may replace its multi-melter with a Carey's pattern assault cannon. Interesting. That's heavy 6, strength 7, AP -1 and 1 point damage, an extra bit of strength there. It's 25 points instead of 21, so you pay an extra 4 points for the +1 strength, which isn't too bad. Oh yes, it has automatic shielding, 5+ invuln, which is helpful. This is definitely helpful. Yeah, to give you some chance of stopping some of the deadly shots come through. So a bit more reliable with him. And you don't pay too many more points for that, so Contemptor seems pretty good. So next one's the Redemptor. I've just got the kit come through, so it'd be fascinating to see what combinations are good for this one. So it's like a super dreadnought, a big one. Big dreadnought, and it is head and shoulders above the others. So you're starting out weapons skill, ballistic skill 3+. His movement's increased, this 8-inch move here. The Contemptor Dreadnought's movement 9, by the way. It's a pretty quick dreadnought, that. But anyway, we're on 13 wounds. There's as many wounds as a main battle tank, 4 attacks, leadership 8 and 3 up save. A Redemptor Dreadnought is a single model armed with a heavy onslaught Gatling cannon, a heavy flame, an Icarus rocket pod, 2 Fragstorm grenade launchers, and a Redemptor fist. It's armed with a lot of stuff. Right, it's the heavy onslaught Gatling cannon. Let's get some costs here. So 140 points, quite a leap. It is 140 points. We then take a heavy onslaught Gatling cannon. You have to add 36 points to that for that weapon. Okay, just going to get an idea of a heavy flamer. It's actually going to take extra 17 points on top of that. Just pushing on 200 here. Icarus rocket pods. And Icarus rocket pods is just the one. So 6 points. Okay, Fragstorm grenade launchers. 4 points, so 2 lots, that's 8. So just pushing over the 200 point mark, and then the Redemptor Fist, which should be free of charge. 0, yeah. Okay, so about not too bad. 210 odd points, 215, something like that. Which isn't ridiculous. I can easily slot him in to the force. So with that configuration, you get the Redemptor, the heavy onslaught Gatling cannon. It's heavy 12, range 30, strength 5, AP -1. It's not a bad weapon at all. Heavy flamer, which we know about. It's range 8, D6, strength 5, AP -1. An Icarus rocket pod. It's heavy D3, strength 7, AP -1. It's range 24. Add 1 to hit rolls made with this weapon against targets that can fly. Cool, so we've done 2s to hit targets that can fly. Subtract 1 from hit rolls for this weapon against other targets. So that's not bad, it's quite cheap actually. Then Fragstorm grenade launchers here is here. Assault D6, range 18, strength 4, AP -0, 1 point damage. But look, 2 Fragstorms, it's 2d6 shots from that at range 18. There's a lot of shots this thing can chuck out. And it's a real gun platform, this thing. Good for hordes, hosing stuff down, so I'd use it in that way. And then a Redemptor Fist, so it's definitely got a bit of combat potential here. So melee weapon, it's ×2 strength, so strength 14, AP -3 and d6 points damage. No, nasty. Decent Dreadnought, no problem with that. This one will replace its heavy flame with an onslaught Gatling cannon. See how much that costs. 16 points, 1 point less. I reckon I'd take that. Onslaught Gatling cannon, because it's so reliable. Heavy 6. There's no worries of rolling that dreaded one shot. Heavy 6, strength 5, AP -1. Yeah, and you combine that then with your heavy onslaught, and then all of a sudden you've got 18 shots. Brilliant. So I take that, save a point. This model will replace its heavy onslaught Gatling cannon with a macro plasma incinerator. Is 31 points. So it's 5 points cheaper. I just love the look of the Gatling guns. Just look really cool. But we'll see what the rules for this thing here. Macro plasma incinerator. D6 shots, not very reliable. Strength 8, AP -4. And then 1 point damage. Or supercharge it, you can go for heavy D6, strength 9, AP -4, 2 points damage as mortal wounds come through if you roll 1s. No, for reliability I just love the heavy 12. I'd stick with that, I reckon. It just suits the Dreadnought as well, it looks really cool. This model replaces 2 Fragstorm grenade launchers with 2 Storm Bolters instead. which are cheaper, but I reckon I'd stick with the Frag Storm. 2d6 shots, it's fantastic. So that's what I'd stick with, I reckon. But no, with 2 Storm Bolters, 4 shots or 8 shots, and cheaper as well. 4 points you'll pay out for that. Yeah, maybe go for the Storm Bolters, and then no special rules. But good for hosing stuff down, and then that combat ability as well, and a tougher, loads of wounds on that thing as well. So yeah, Redemptor Dreadnoughts, pretty good. Be happy to have that one in the Primaris army. Right, then we're on Centurion Assault Squad. I've always gone for Devastators, but we'll see what these are like. So, movement 4, they are so slow. Weapon skill 3, ballistic 3 plus, ballistic skill 3 plus, strength and toughness 5, 3 wounds, 2 attacks, leadership 7, and 2 up save. 2 up save is not as much protection as it used to be. It can be modified by a lot of weapons, and all of a sudden that 2 up save drops to 3 up, 4 up, and the unit becomes quite vulnerable. You seem to get picked on. Maybe you've got these in a Land Raider and you're protecting them. We'll see what kind of damage they can do when they charge in. It's a unit of 3 of them. You can take 3 more. They come with siege drills, 2 flamers each, so that's pretty good. And then a Centurion Assault Launchers. So the flamers D6, you've got 2 of them, so each model's 2d6 shots. So brilliant for Overwatch protection. Plunge them into a horde army, and if you get charged by something, the unit together is going to chuck out 6d6 shots, automatic hits on Overwatch. So that's pretty effective. And again, remember you've got the rules where you can fire it on target. So you charge them in or move them in, they're going to charge this vehicle, take it out. There's some infantry nearby, flame the infantry, charge the vehicle. So there's that versatility with them. Hurricane Bolters, Melter Gun, Siege Drills. Right, so times 2 strength. So they're on strength 10. AP minus 4, so it's just going to bypass the armour, virtually all the vehicles, and then it's a straight 3 points of damage. And there's no minus to hit. 2 attacks each. There is the Sergeant, so you're on 7 attacks. So you get 5 hits. Then you'd cause maybe 3 wounds. So it bypasses the armor. You can deal out about 9 wounds on a vehicle. So the squad, on average, will kill 3/4 kill a vehicle. I don't know how much all that costs. You can go for combat squads. If you take a squad of 6, you can split them down to 2 units of 3. The Centurion Assault Launchers. If a model with Centurion Assault Launchers finishes a charge move with an inch, roll d6 on 4+, the unit suffers a mortal wound. Omniscope. Units do not receive the benefit of their saving throws being in cover against attacks made by a Centurion Sergeant, which is pretty wasteful because there's not much weaponry there to use to worry about cover. Now, Centurion Assault Squad, they're 53 points a time, so you're already at 160 points. Siege Drills is 0. I think he's going to end up about 200 points here. Options, any model replaces 2 flamers with melter guns. Oh, these are flamers, by the way, not heavy flamers. Any model replaces Centurion Assault Launchers with a Hurricane Bolter. Okay. Ooh. Centurion Assault Launchers. Now I take the Hurricane Bolters. Tons of shots then. God, loads of shots. That's cheap enough. Hurricane Bolters. 4 points time. Yeah, it's about 170 points we're on. And so we'll keep the flamers. 9 points to 170, 200 points. Yeah, it is about 200 points to the unit. Chuck out a lot of shots. A lot of shots. So it's a good unit to just throw into the centre of the big fight, to flame and shoot at one unit, charge into another. Opponent reacts, charges them. You can flame back in return if he shoots them. There's some pretty good toughness and armour saves there as well. So Centurion Assault Squad's not too bad. Not too bad. If you really want to kill stuff, vehicles and so on, you take 5 or 6 of them. for them if you want them to charge something and destroy it. So yeah, unit 5 of them would be deadly enough. The advantage of that, if you take unit 5 or 6, you take some damage, you lose a couple of models, you still have an effective squad at the end of it. Okay, so that is actually the end of elites. The next section is fast attack. So I'm going to stop the video here. This is part 1 finished. We've covered a lot of ground there, a load of HQs, went through troops, and then elite section was very big as well. So we've made good progress. So what remains to cover is fast attack. There's not so many of them. Then there's heavy support, there's Guilliman to come as well, and then there's the tactics, all the new stuff and stratagems as well for Space Marines also. So we'll cover that in part 2. This is part 1 finished, and then keep a lookout for part 2 available on the channel as well. I'm trying to do these videos as a review for all the different entries and sort of talking tactics and combinations as I go along, so I'll give you an idea of what may work out the best for each of these units. So there it is. That's the part 1. Check out gamingfigures.com. Video Games Workshop stuff at a discounted rate. That just means you can get a hold of your kits and modelling accessories and so on at a discounted price from them. There it is. That's the review, part 1 here for Codex Space Marines. Thanks for watching, and tune in next time.